Hi, I'm Ted Björk, and you're watching TCOne on RaceRoom.
Hello and welcome to Brands Hatch. It's round 5 of the TCOne 2016 Championship. And we are here, myself, Ryan Callan, with Adam Vaughan once again, former TC2 champion. Adam, welcome.
Hello, really looking forward to this. Looking at the times already, I think we're going to get a repeater last time. We're going to get Banky sitting on pole, and hopefully he can improve his race pace this time and really challenge Julian Kunze.
Yeah, just a quick recap of what happened along with the driver points at Sonoma. We're about to go live into qualifying, just around about a minute's time here. Last time around, Kunze once again extended his championship lead, as he has done inexorably since the very first race of the season. And now his margin sits at a very healthy 133 points. There are drop scores, of course, in this championship, which muddies the water a little bit, but really doesn't change very much for these guys because Kunze has been so strong all season long. And obviously last time out at Sonoma, Banky obviously did some fantastic qualifying performances, but it was Kunze who still took the wins in the end, Adam.
Yeah, it was. Banky looked really good in qualifying, but he just didn't look like he had that sort of race pace that Kunze could do. And I think it's tyre based as well. That Kunze just so ridiculously insane throughout it all. What I am looking at the championship leads is see if we can get a late sort of haul from Chris Butcher. I know he's been off the server practicing, which tells me that he's taking this round seriously. It's a short track. The field's very close, and maybe we can see something from Chris Butcher. I would like to, and maybe Rob as well. I'm hoping Banky, Rob, and Butcher can really take it to Julian Kunze.
Yeah, because last time out, of course, Rob did win race 1 at Sonoma. The words at Sonoma, of course, charging through after a very uncharacteristic RaceRoom race from Julian Kunze. Kunze was in the lead of the race, and then came under pressure of Chris Butcher, who after bashing duel with him, and Chris ended up losing out there, didn't he? Ended up in the barriers, and then as a result of that, Kunze was completely out of his rhythm, and Rob the Shark, he pounced.
Yeah, it was interesting though because of the pressure Butchie putting in from lap 1. As we all know, we watch Chris Butcher. He really does like to dice things up in race. He seemed to fold under that pressure, and Rob, who qualified 6th. We didn't really even mention him. Come out of nowhere, won the race after catching him half a second on one corner.
Yeah, and some sublime overtaking moves by Rob in that event also. Well, passing is a lot harder here, though, isn't it, Adam? Brands Hatch, a very, very short, very tricky circuit, especially for the sticklers from Citroen. Not looking forward to anybody who's driving that. Not envying them, should I say? This track is much different in terms of passing. There is not quite the clear-cut opportunities that there are at Sonoma, for example.
Yeah, it is. It's really is your go-kart track. It's one line. The main opportunities we're looking at is into McLaren and coming out onto clearways. That's where you're looking for the lines to swap and people to dice in and out of there. That's where you'll see a couple of taps as well, a couple of naughty late dives into there, which could prove massive in the event. But that's where we're looking. Last corner, McLaren in clearways. That's where you're going to see the dice in at this track.
Maybe the typical Matt Neal maneuver, going into that final corner. In terms of that kind of move, what do you think of that kind of move, Adam? I know it's great as a spectator, but as a driver, when it happens to yourself, how does that affect somebody? When you just throw it up the inside, there's a gap there, but basically you're forcing a gap at the same time because the gap will close eventually, but you put your car there.
Personally, it depends on the situation where I do it, but we've all done it. And if I'd done it, I'd expect something into the next corner, 100%. I'd expect a dive or a lunge, and I wouldn't blame them for that, because if someone did it to me, the next corner, as soon as I get near them, I'm doing the exact same thing. So watch out for that as well. If someone does just give the little knock and run into that corner, expect one on the way back into Paddock Hill.
Yeah, so we just have a small delay here, guys, as we go into qualifying. We'll be about 5 minutes before we do so. So let's just let you know about what's happening in the rest of the TPS world at the moment. TC2 has been going on, and there's been an epic battle in that between Etienne Bruns and Alex Dorneiden, coming to a head in the final lap of Hungaroring. A controversial incident which saw Dorneiden stopped from passing by Etienne Bruns in that area. It's in a couple of last lap passes that this season also as well, so that's been very exciting indeed. Here is a trailer for that. And here are the driver points for you again, guys. Looking at that list at the moment, Adam, any drivers that stood out, surprised you this season for so far with their good or poor performances?
Yeah, Julian Kunter, I've obviously never heard of, coming from a different community, completely surprised me. Just ridiculously dominating. I don't want to talk about him because it just upsets me that he's so good. Disappointed from Robert. He's had a really up and down season, just crazy, insane Rob in one race that just wins races and makes passes to win races as well, and then other races just
it's still
not
crazy to say
them.
Rob crash into people.
Yeah, that's what we've seen. Also, we've seen the same from Butcher as well. Not interested early on in the season, but we look at the driver's points, and there he is in third. And if he had that interest earlier on in the season, you know, that could be 100 points that he could gain there, and that's disappointing from Butcher. A couple of surprises as well. Mike Bell sitting in 12th. He had a couple of bad results as well, and apart from if he didn't have those, I'd say that solely puts him in top 10, which he can be really proud of, considering Mike is one not known for doing too well in the Touring Pro Series community. So yeah, quite surprised by Mike. And every time I watch him as well, he's solid top 10, making good moves, being aggressive defensively as well. And I like to see that sort of driving. So really good.
A couple of people I'd like to pick out is Marlon Bastos has been a bit of a sleeper this season. Literally probably had no airtime whatsoever, Marlon, and somehow he's equal 8th in the championship with Chris Shepherd, who's had plenty of airtime. So just goes to show the sort of results that Marlon has got, whereas Chris has gone boom or bust really in top 5, or crashing out in some kind of controversial incident, knowing him. And Chris Visa, I've been impressed by Chris Visa because he started in Division 2 at the start of the season, smashed Division 2, and then came up here. Had a poor event at Sonoma, but a fantastic event at Mid-Ohio, knocking on the door of the top 10. Actually got a couple of top 10s in the end after a bit of the old carnage up ahead of him. We all remember Mid-Ohio. It's extremely feisty. Sonoma was much more calm. And so Bastos and Visa, those two there. So Bastos more of a sleeper, not really noticed him. And of course, Visa doing well. And Ben Spanky is definitely the best newcomer anyway. I know Kunter is a newcomer to Touring Pro Series, as is Stanger, of course. Well, but these are well-known names in other communities, right? You know, these are guys who've won championships, and these are guys that have been top of leaderboards and RaceRoom for God knows how long. But Ben Spanky is one that's come from left field. You know, not many people knew who he was, weren't sure what to expect of him. And his young kid is doing very, very well in his first season. taken a couple of pole positions last time out at Sonoma, and sixth in the championship here. Has now joined the Smile Power team for the rest of the season, Adam, and that should only strengthen him throughout the rest of the season because he's got the backup of teammates, and now he's got the infrastructure and the support to fine-tune those setups that can be so crucial to find that extra half a tenth.
Yeah, I think that's what he's lacking as well, is that half a tenth in the races. And yeah, watching him, it's really nice to see someone just come out of nowhere and just and you see him progress in this league. Like I said last time, he's someone that's looked at the likes of Julian Kunzer and went, well, I can do that, and he's inspired by it, and he's just gone from strength to strength each round.
Yeah, he has indeed, and we talked about it, didn't we, a little bit last time out. How much we admire people who can take the fast people that are getting smashed by as inspiration rather than intimidation and just kind of giving up. So when Ben Smith fell into that category, we spoke about Sean Jacobs, Matthew Wheeler, these kind of people who, they really, really aspire to be as good as these guys rather than be intimidated, just giving up. So that's a massive attribute that you have to have in this day in sim racing to become effective. Because when you first start, of course, you're always going to be behind the 8 ball. So we're going to go into qualifying now. There should be a few laps in qualifying here, of course, because remember, guys, it's a very short track, of course, and we're going to watch Jan Stanger first up. That's an absolute lie. We're now watching Jan Trostrom. Jan Trostrom, we're watching him first up, and he's heading towards the final corner now to end his first lap. That's how quick qualifying is here, guys. We've got just over a minute into qualifying, and already they're completing their first lap, so they should get 3 runs in here, maybe even 4 if they stay out for a couple of laps, which they can do that, of course, remember, as Kunzer goes pole position. No surprise there, straight away laying down a 45.6. Banky just behind him and 10th behind him. Banky looked like in practice, didn't he, Adam, that he was going to be the closest challenger to the Kunzer crown at pole position here.
Yeah, and it was those two dicing in practice for the top spot. If you look at Kunzer as well, if we get a chance to watch him, just look how much exit he uses compared to everyone else. He really knows the limits, and with that German precision, he's really just bringing the car out really wide and using all the track to the point. To me, I'm sure that's a cut, but looking at it, it's obviously not, and he's looking solid, really good.
And then the cut rules in this game are really, really tight as well, so you even can't do that, especially in qualifying. You may be able to get away with the races because we do turn it off for obvious reasons. You can get pushed off and get penalised by the game, of course. You recognise that kind of thing. Los Reed making his debut in Division 1. He goes across the line. 1.4 seconds off the pace, but not too shabby at the moment, 24th on the grid. So in qualifying, literally you can't get away with anything at all. So qualifying really is the true test of your speed. You can't cut and gain tenths or even hundreds of a second, which is so crucial here, in any kind of sneaky way. And people here aren't hugging the wall on the right side. I know we felt it was a fast lap there, Mike, but even if you hug that wall on the right hand side, save yourself half a tenth instead of switching straight out and watching obviously the laps coming thick and fast here. Schulze, just seeing the final corner here at the moment, Adam. Schulze is going to go across the line. He's keeping it to the right hand side. He thinks he's on a fast lap. He's not. He hasn't improved. He stays in 12th spot. So Schulze debuted at Sonoma in Division 1, did pretty well, and now he's looking to go a bit better here as Mike Bell is going better on this next lap around. Just 2 tenths off in that first sector, half a second off in that middle sector though. Is it absolutely crazy how big the gap can be from first down to about 20th on such a short sector, Adam? It's only a couple of corners, but somehow, some way, they're technical enough to separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, it is. Just looking at Mike as well, where he's coming through turn 1 there, he took a lot of curb, and you don't really want to do that through paddock hill because that's where you need to stomp on the throttle, and you just lose so much momentum. You delay the sort of how early you can get on the throttle if you take a big chunk out of that curb. Sometimes you can hit it, and the car keeps balance, but if you Pedro Armel was a bit, he was okay, but yeah, you don't really want to take a chunk out of that so it unsettles the car. Like I said, sometimes you can hit it and it doesn't affect the balance of the car, but 9 times out of 10 you hit it and it does. So you really want to avoid that.
Yeah, Lerner's really going for this lap. He took the car right out to the edge of the left side of the track there. Butcher thinks he's on a fast lap here, keeping to the inside, and he goes, doesn't improve at all actually, in fact. And he's staying in that 8th position right now. Remember, passing at this track is very, very difficult indeed. Qualifying again is going to be absolutely crucial. Banky has improved, and he's not gone fast enough to get past Kunzer. Remember here last season, the championship leader Miguel Nato ran into all kinds of problems with back markers and lag. So those are the sort of things that can happen, and Kunze has to look out for those. Chris Johnson stays in 27th spot. The American not having the best of times here in this qualifying session. Just a few seconds left in qualifying also. Who can improve? Schultz looks like he's on the fast lap. Keeping to the inside once again. He goes and saves 12th again. Schultz just staying 12th every single time it comes round. Sets a new lap. I think he was actually a little bit further down and did improve there, but 12th spot is where he's back to being as he was last time we saw him. Glavach. Remember, he won a race at Nürburgring. The very first Touring Pro Series win for himself, and he didn't quite cross the line in time to set that lap time, so he will stay in 6th spot. So it's good qualifying though for the Slovenian. 6th spot for Janko Glavach. Pole position for Julian Kunze. 2nd spot for Bence Banki, with Jan Stanger, Amaral, Trostrom and Glavach rounding out the front 3 rows. Let's get off this screen for you guys, I do apologise. Good old glitching cars. And so, qualifying is over. We've got a few seconds before the race here. Any thoughts on that qualifying session there, Adam?
Yeah, that was as standard you can get it. Looking at the form of the season, we got Kunze on pole, Banki in behind him. Let's see what Banki can do. And like I said, it's going to be interesting because they will possibly, looking at how slow the guys are to the rear, they will come up against lap cars in this event. So that could play a huge part. And I know last season it did. Miguel Nato had major trouble coming up against back cars, and one that completely wiped him out, and another one that just wouldn't move for him, and he ended up staying behind it for 2 laps. But he did have a massive lead in his teammate behind him, so he didn't really need to overtake. So yeah, that's going to play a major part towards the end of the race.
So look out for that. Again, of course, passing back markers here is no mean feat also as well. So we're going to go into the action for you now. The race is about to start. Revs are up, lights are out, and away we go. And it's a good start there from Kunze. Beautiful straight line start. Pulls away from the second grid and takes the lead into the first corner. Banki's got in behind him. And then we've got Stanger and Glavach. Glavach's good start from 6th to 4th. Amaral has dropped back a little bit after his good quality. I didn't really mention him at all, actually. Trostrom in 6th, Lerner in 7th, Wiesemuller 8th, with Butcher 9th, Shepherd in 10th spot as they wind their way down towards the Brainhill Essex for the first time. Of course, they will be very, very close indeed for a long time at this track.
Yeah, they will.
Right in the mix as well.
They're going to be like trains around here, and it's who can keep their car in that situation. And what you'll find
is giving me a headache.
If one person gets overtaken, that most likely just going to get dropped 3 or 4 positions.
Yeah, you will get train wrecked. Absolutely get train wrecked in this one. Is that the right word? Am I using the right word? Pretty sure it's to do with trains.
We'll go
train line, train wrecked. Okay, train wrecked. It's a good start for the broadcast. Well done. Chris Shepherd is in 10th spot, is right behind Chris Butcher. These guys do not get on at all, despite the fact they share a common name. They've called them several excursions before. Mid-Ohio, famously Butcher blew up Chris Shepherd, came from line. Chris Shepherd blew up Butcher for making a dive bomb. And it's also been out with Fenn Appleby in the end. But those 2 drivers are known for being hotheads on the track. It doesn't matter whether they see sense afterwards. When it's happening in the moment, though, isn't it, Adam?
It is, yeah. What happened at Mid-Ohio was I had messages from both Chris Shepherd and Chris Butcher that didn't really make sense, and if you took both of them, then there wasn't a story there. So yeah, that's what happened. Look at Chris was actually looking quite aggressive there on Lerner, but he's looking right in the back of him now actually.
We'll be able to see that as we go over Chris Butcher. There is Lerner on the left hand side. He's got an overlap here. Will he be able to make the pass? No, it's so difficult making a pass there because again the natural line is just to brake to the inside also, trail brake into an early apex there, hold it tight and then drive away. So unless you've got a almost fully alongside, you cannot make an overtake there.
Yeah, just looking at the lines everyone's taken as well, and I mentioned Kunze earlier, he's using a lot more of the runoff, the sort of baked grass on the outside than everyone else. I'm not sure if I've seen Banki do this. Banki's dropped down to 7th.
No, Dirk Nats just jumped on Dirk Nats has quit the race, so he's jumped forward on the track into the pits and shuffled the order somewhat. As everyone passes the pits now, that will get sorted out. So Dirk Nats, I'm not sure whether he's out of the race or just lagging. I think he's out of the race, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I think he jumped forward into the pits and just made the timing go a bit skewy for a second there. As Spence Banki looks like he's very threatening right now on the back of Julian Kunze. He looks hungry.
Yeah, he does. You can see they're both using similar lines, like I said, all the runoff that they're using, and it just you just gain that little split second each time. As Banky's got a really good run out of here. Actually, if he can get in the slipstream here, he can possibly pull a fake one on Kunt. So that's what I do. Be diving left, right now, seeing which way I'm going to go, and keep him guessing. He's just going to. No, he's not even going to have a look. So yeah, it looked like Kunt's had just come out a little bit wider there and got a bit more speed on the straight.
You definitely should be learning the lesson that Chris Butcher taught the field at Sonoma. That if you just get in amongst Kunter, just unsettle him, just make little digs here and there, even if you're not trying to fully pass, it can upset the German. And it completely took Kunter out of his rhythm to the point where he ended up finishing 4th in the first race of Sonoma. Of course, he completely recovered his composure for race 2 and 3, but in the moment, Kunter has found to be a little bit vulnerable. So I was Banky. I'd be like he said, I'd be here, there, and everywhere in the mirror, just trying to distract him. If he's not trying to make a move, just kind of break a little bit later, a little love tap on the back, maybe into Druids, for example, just to let you know I'm here, just to annoy you. Nothing that you can be penalised for, of course, but every driver knows it's a little bit naughty, but it's completely within the rules.
Yeah, it looked like Kunter dropped him a little bit there. And if you look at the exit of Druids now, watch how wide Kunter runs his car out and compared to Banky. Kunter runs it right out, and Banky just doesn't want to do it at all. And he's straight. His wheel is basically straighter than Banky's, and that, just for tyre wear alone, that is massive over a race length.
The field is absolutely packed still. This battle for 5th spot is very tight, all the way back from 5th and 9th. We got Amaral being passed by Glavich, but I think Amaral made a small mistake there into there. And Amaral, like we said before, has been train wrecked. The entire field has gone past, it'll feel like to him. He's got Rugby's will have gone past him. Glavich had lost out also as well. So Robert's opportunistic here. He has got, now who is that on his inside? Oh, sorry, on his outside. That is Jan Trosum, his teammate, of course. What am I talking about? Jan Trosum on his outside somehow has managed to hold the outside line there. Robert will complete the move here though. The two teammates should sort themselves out, because if Trosum gets hung out here, you get other people passing him, and that's what they've done. They've sorted themselves out. Lerner is now in behind Glavich, and Amaral has dropped back to 10th in that one small move. I'm not sure if Glavich touched him, because obviously Glavich ended up being out of line as well, but Amaral went from 4th to 10th in half a lap.
Yeah, he made a mistake coming into Surtees, and it's possibly one of them where he just dropped the wheel, maybe his outside wheel on the grass, and he just completely lost it. So, and great from Rob and his teammate there. They really sorted themselves out.
Now Glavich looking back, there's Chris Butcher on his right. Our left, we look at it. Oh, Lerner's got for aggressive move there. He's sideways, and Butcher's had to hit the curb, and that's pushed Lerner slightly into the gravel, which means Shepard's going to come down the inside as well. Lerner there put himself in all kinds of bother. He left himself exposed. He left himself on the outside of Glavich, heading out of Clark and Clearways onto the back straight, which meant, of course, Butcher can get the overlap, which means he's on the outside from Paddock Hill Bend, which means Glavich can, Shepard can get the overlap, which means now Shepard has passed him, and in the background, it looks like also Pedro Amaral is trying to get that position back also as well. Here we are, Amaral now on the outside. Surely don't do it. Oh, and inside, Lerner's off! Lerner has hit Shepard. A bit of help perhaps from Amaral, not quite sure, but Lerner has gone straight off. Again, Lerner, one of these drivers who can lose his cool in these races, and he has quit. He has absolutely seen enough of this. He's quit out of the race, but I think from what we saw there, Adam, I think that Lerner has only himself to blame in that situation.
Yeah, Chris was at the inside there, and Lerner just wanted to bite a little bit more than Butchie was allowing him, and what he could bite anyway. He was just trying to take a little bit too much. Chris's car was there. Chris did nothing wrong. He was as inside as he could.
Yeah, absolutely.
And from there, Lerner's obviously just got hard-headed. I'm not sure what happened then into McLaren, but it looked like they all just wanted to pounce on him. And yeah, I think Lerner was possibly just crossing a few cars there. He was trying to sort himself out, and yeah, it's not very good from Lerner there.
No, from what we saw there, that's not sensible driving around the track. It's early in the race as well, and you've just seen Amaral get shut down, and he put himself in exactly the same position. He's just taken advantage of Amaral and then done the same thing to himself and paid penalty. Got hot-headed over it, tried to go for a move, and just ended up nothing. It was Shepard out, wasn't it? So Shepard has dropped back to 17th now as well. It looked like through no fault of his own from what we can see. Of course, it could be different. We're looking for TV cams, make a judgment at home, of course. And so we'll leave that to the stewards to deal with that at a later point. But Lerner put himself in the situation, and that is so key in racing and sim racing and racing in general, isn't it? Is people will complain about, oh, they got beaten up in midfield by the midfield packers. Qualify better. Don't put yourself in the situation where you can get beaten. You know what I mean? And people just sometimes put themselves in the situation where things can happen to them, and it may or may not be their fault that things do happen to them. But the key is not to put yourself there in the first place.
Yeah, if you compare to what Amaral did, Amaral, he'd obviously gone wide, and it looked like he just kept on the grass and was waiting for a point to re-enter the track. He's not, he's out of line. Like I said, this is a go-kart track, and it looked like Lerner was just trying to cut across cars just to try and get back into the race, where Amaral was like, right, I've come off, I need to come back when I'm okay to come back. Whereas Lerner, okay, he's lost momentum, he's off the line. It looked like he was just trying to swerving back into the race, and you can't really do that in a tight pack.
No, you can't, and sometimes you're just going to take your medicine, haven't you? You're just going to take the fact that that's what's happened and accept that's the way the things are. As things have settled down, we've Stanger in a very lonely third place right now. I don't feel like he'll be threatened for the rest of the race, bless him. He's sat there just taking a podium position. But at the front of the field, Banky is still very close to Kunter. You can see that with your own eyes. The lap times from these guys, by the way, are 46.033 from Banky and 46.037 from Kunter. So to say they're well matched would be a bit of an understatement at the moment. But of course, remember, what happened at Sonoma was Banky's tyres would go off around about the halfway point, and he'd lose ground and drop back. Now he's got quite a big gap back to Stanger in this particular race, so he shouldn't be pushing his car too hard, and he shouldn't really lose second spot should his tyres go off. But the key, of course, he doesn't want second spot, he wants that win, and key to that is keeping those tyres underneath him, because Kunter has shown himself to be the master at that this season.
Yeah, he has. And just talking about that line again, it looks, what Kunter do, it looks so much more smoother and natural to what Banky's doing, not using all the road coming out of Druids. And also in the last turn as well, it looks like Kunter just got a little bit more of a late apex than Banky, and Banky's really struggling just to get in the slipstream here. And I've possibly Kunter's doing that because Banky's so far behind him, but I think Banky just needs to replicate him a little bit through that.
Yeah, Banky looks very, very fast through paddock and then into Druids as well, doesn't he? So he gains all his time under braking, very good there. And but then he loses it on the exit. We've gone back there, for example, he's not using any of the curb in there at all, whereas Kunter's using it all. Different car, driving styles perhaps, maybe Chevrolet doesn't quite like the bumps as much as the Lada does, but he does run wide at Graham Hill Bend, so we should just be studying that and saying, look, I can do a little bit more here. Again, the trade-off really is not really necessarily the speed as much, it's the tyres. You're not turning the tyres quite as much and giving them more room to breathe, less angle to stress them with. Of course, that pays dividends further and further you go into the race. And just, even though 0.1% here and there, if you do that every lap, we've got well over 20 laps in, about 25 laps I think it is, and you've got yourself a nice 2.5% cushion there on the wear of the tyre.
Yeah, and if you just look, it looks so much more natural coming into the next corner as well. And obviously he's seeing it because he's right on it. I just not sure why he's replicating it. He said maybe it is a case that the Chevy just doesn't like that with the bumps on the outside of that corner as much as the Lada does.
Well, we'll just have to keep an eye on that battle, of course, and we'll keep you updated on that. We are keeping a very close eye on the battle at front. We're also going to keep a close eye on this battle here because Wiesenmuller and Jan are starting to get very close indeed, and straight through is going Jan Trost from Robert Wiesenmuller. Wiesenmuller went wide there into clearways, and this is letting Glavec through. It's actually Jan. He's actually slipstreaming, and he got out of the slipstream really quickly there and got in front of Rob. Most times, if you're in that situation, you would still stay on the inside to make sure no one can make a dive bomb back through when you're trying to pass someone. But he had to get back in line, stop Rob being passed by Glavec, and stop him pulling him through with the slipstream. That was very interesting indeed. Great communication for those two anyway. And now Glavec is all over the back of Rob, nudging him here, there and everywhere, trying to find a way through. He couldn't quite get enough overlap.
Yeah, so look, if you look at what Glavec is doing, that's what Banky, if he gets a little bit closer, should be doing. As you look at Rob,
naughty. That was a little bit naughty there. Not sure if Rob went wide and Glavec took advantage, but that was some contact at least. There's been no ramifications, there's been no squeezing here from Rob back on him, so maybe it was just a small error from Rob. It went wide, and Glavec just snuck up the inside. So Rob perhaps struggling on the breaking into that corner. Oh, Glavec, that's very, very fast there. He's going to get repassed on the exit. Yes, he is. and Wiesema goes straight back through down the inside. Glavac's trying to hold around the outside. He's vulnerable to Butcher, of course. Remember, we were talking about how you're offline here and you just get NASCAR, as it were. And Glavac now has to hold the inside and defend from Butcher instead of attacking Rob. So fantastic action here as Glavac, Butcher and Wiesema squabble over 5th spot.
Yeah, I didn't really see Glavac make a bump on Robert, and the way Robert drove into Druids as well. I didn't think he did anything because Rob was very he gave him the room he needed. So I don't think there was any move there from Glavac.
We'll never know. Yanko. And of course, remember as well, we'll go back up front here because Butcher just had a little go at Glavac there into Paddock Hill. I was unexpected with a little timing. Remember, we talked to Yanko earlier in the season, didn't we, in an interview where he says that he gets better as the weekend, as it were, goes on. There's 3 races here today, guys, so it's a marathon session for you guys. Really, really sharp shots over and over and over. And he was speaking about the fact that he gets better as it goes along because he's older. It takes time to warm up, he says. So if he's producing this kind of performance in the first race, maybe he can challenge for a pole position by the end of the evening.
Now he said that, we'll look out for that, and we'll we need to see higher than 6 then next from Glavac. But I know he feels getting old. I imagine I'd take a long time to warm up.
Adam, how old are you?
26.
That's not old.
I feel old.
Ooh, with the lock from the left advantage of the car then. He's really, really trying here. He's right in behind Dirk Nats. I'm not really annoyed about that because Dirk Nats is also one of the older drivers. The father, like we spoke about before, of Chris Nats. Chris is back in Division 2, so he got demoted after his poor showing. And ooh, there's a big bump. He's gone straight into the back of somebody as Dirk Nats in this race. And somebody has also gone into the back of him as a result, or maybe it's all the way around. But either way, Dirk Nats is showing some battle scars on that car, as we'll get a very close look looking back from Nicola Olympic here. There you are. Look at the front end of that Chevrolet Cruze. Look at the door, the driver's side door as well. Unbelievable. Dirk has been, I don't know, not sure where he's been, Destruction Derby 2 or Brands Hatch.
Yeah, if you look at the
this isn't Wreckfest.
Stevanovic car as well, and that looks like it's had a little bump in the front left corner, so that's possibly why Knats has got damage to the rear. But yeah,
what's his name?
I'm going to go with Knats.
Knats.
Okay,
so this is damage we're talking about also as well, with the back of Dirk Nats's car. Definitely not Knats. If it is Knats now, I'm gonna like.
It's how we Welsh would say it.
It's how you Welsh would say it. Fortunately, I now live in Wales, so I have to deal with these people on a daily basis. Janko Glavac is now still challenging Robert Wiesema. Pace. Definitely more ragged than Janko. Janko just biding his time. It's that type of drive. He won't force it. Oh, Chris there. The entry to Greenville Bend. I think he may have got an inch of wheel on the grass entering that corner. Of course, sideways into the next corner. And got himself out of shape. The 13th spot, again, having a very good midfield race, is Matthew Wheeler. Here he is. 13th spot, the guy we talked about last time around, has used the pace of these guys as an inspiration rather than intimidation. And right behind him is Chris Shepherd, who's of course fighting his way back in the 17th after that incident with Moritz Lerner. A good old drifting, crabbing Australian connection there from Matthew Wheeler. We've got Karamadaro Bogdan in behind him also well. Chris Wiese ahead of him. These drivers have all had good results this season so far, so Matthew will be very pleased with that indeed. Eric Pizzola is having a battle here with the yellow Chevrolets of Lazarenko and Chris Johnson. Fighting happening all the way up and down the field as Brizola carries lots more speed into that corner than Lazarenko. Lazarenko almost blocks him. Oh, Brizola, he's making space where there isn't any. What a move that will be. He's made the move stick. Beautiful stuff, Adam.
That's a great move. Look, and if you're sitting in Lazarenko's car there, there's nowhere Brizola can go, and he just sort of filters his way in. And absolutely.
He morphed into like a smart car for a second there as he went through. And so he became a Honda again. That was incredible.
I imagine his left foot was just shaking then on the pedal. If he left foot brakes, that is. But I left foot brake. I imagine his left foot was just going, just dabbing the pedal, just shaking, hoping that this isn't going to get me a few Ryan Callum 24 Series deduction points. But great move there from Mazzola.
It was a fantastic move, and a good time to go back and watch him then. as Glavach, Beaton and Butcher are still close to go. Butcher looks like he's quite quick as well, because after that mistake, he's caught straight back up again, lap and a half later to the back of his guy, leaving lots of curve on the inside there as we exit the final corner for the umpteenth time of the race. There's only 2 minutes to go, and Banky now has a 1 second gap to Kunter. Looks like he just can't quite. It's much better than Snowman, isn't it? Adam, much better. He was losing maybe probably 1% overall. Wasn't he, in terms of like tyre wear to the top guys? Now he's losing about 0.1% throughout the race. So it's very interesting. Banky has very much improved his tyre wear. He's right behind Kunter this entire race, but it's still not quite enough to do anything about the dominant German.
I'm telling you that just what Kunter's doing on the exit of Druids could be what this gap is.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like I said, it just looks so much more natural. His wheel is more straighter.
More straighter.
More straight. It literally what this gap could be. I don't know why he isn't replicating it, because, like I said, he can see it. He's just not doing it. Yeah, but maybe we'll see it from Banky next race.
Maybe we watch this broadcast and give him some tips from TS and tell him about it. But Shepherd and Wheeler there were swapping positions for a couple of seconds as we go into the penultimate lap of the race. I think it will be the penultimate lap of the race. So Kunter, and Glavach just glitched the time in there. And Glavach is back to what's happened to Glavach? He's back to 10th. Glavach's back to 10th. So something's happened to Glavach. I think he may had some kind of graphics freeze perhaps, because he jumped up and down the order for a few seconds there. There doesn't seem to be any damage to his car. Didn't seem off the track, of course. He seems to be going at decent speed, so not sure what's happened to Janko there, but he has been cost several valuable positions. He's gone back 4 positions from 6th to 10th, but of course Janko does warm up throughout the day. We've seen him getting the win in race 3 then. But it's the final lap of the race. Julian Kunter has led from the get-go. And he's never been passed, he's never been challenged for the lead. It's not been quite as simple as that. Banky has been there the entire race long. Kunter has just been that 0.1% too strong, as he has been all season long so far. Kunter is going to make it another win in the TCOne 2016. Wow, he is dominant.
He is unreal, absolutely
8
unreal.
wins from 13 races.
And I was talking to Rob earlier in the season, and I imagine Banky feels that he hasn't made a mistake this race, but he's lost the race by 1.3 seconds.
Yeah. And I mean, Rob was talking about that, the frustration, wasn't he, earlier like I said, earlier in the season, where he was behind Lerner the entire race in Mid-Ohio. He didn't make a single mistake and still couldn't do anything about the Onyx guys. So as we go across the line, they go with Stevanovic, still fighting with Olympic, and ended with Nats actually getting past Olympic in the end. So that was a healthy battle. Brazola there, desperately trying to get on the back of that battle, hoping for a few moves towards the end of the race, but he took a little bit too long to get past Lazarenko, despite the fact it was a fantastic move that he made. So here are the results of the race. And bringing up last position was Los Reed, last of the finishers. Of course, we lost Koch, lost Jacobs, and we also lost Lerner, of course. Race. We lost one other also, so perhaps Lerner will be back for the second race. Fastest lap of the race, like we were talking about, was Banky by just 0.04 of a second from Julian Kunter. Stanger third, Trostrom in fourth. Nice battle he had with Robert Wiese in sixth, was Butcher seventh, Amaral. Plenty of dust-ups. Eighth was Schulze and ninth Bastos. We didn't really see those guys at all. They had a bit of a lonely race. We came quite close in the end to each other. Glavach in 10th, 11th Bell, Wiese, Shepherd, Bogdan, Wheeler, Nats, Olympic, Stevanovic, Brazola, Lazarenko, Johnson, Hollock, Olines, Reed, all finished the race. Just showing the depth and the variance we have in the Touring Pro Series, the different nationalities we have in the Touring Pro Series is absolutely incredible, don't you think? And I know we've had a bit of a German invasion in this series, but we've got drivers in Ukraine, Slovenia, Slovakia, Italy in the Audi TT Cup as well. So the global appeal of Touring Pro Series is amazing. We've got people racing from Australia at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it is better now. With the updates that RaceRoom's had as well, we're seeing guys from Australia who are allowed to race now. And we were talking about Bastos earlier. He actually raced last season. His one-lap pace was good. He struggled in the races because of the ping issues, and he was just bouncing off cars that you couldn't even see. So it's great now with the updates. It's allowing these people to race. And bear in mind for Mr. Wheeler, is it Sunday morning now, I believe?
It is indeed Sunday morning.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it just shows his dedication to the cause also as well. And some congratulations to those guys. So 8 wins from 13 races so far this season for Kunze. An absolutely incredible record. Not many. We've had dominant championships before, haven't we? And we've had people like Stoffel Van Dorner, Jack Keithley in Superdeck Series 2013.
Adam Vaughan.
Maybe. Who've had dominant series. But it's always felt like people were close until maybe the closing stages of the season. And with Van Dorner, of course, it was because he missed the first 2 races, had to race from Division 2 in the next 2 races, and of course was fighting his way back with a points deficit, of course, all the way up throughout the season. Whereas, and also the season with Keithley as well, Torbo was doing just almost as well as Keithley throughout the season, and it was very, very close until the final couple of rounds of the season. Whereas this season, with Kunze winning so many races, it doesn't feel close at all. I mean, it isn't close. That's the thing. It isn't close. It's a very different dominant performance this season compared to, say, the past where we had with Keithley in Superdex 2013 or Stoffel in TCOne 2013.
Yeah, well, there's people there that are as quick as him, because we've seen Lerner win. Has Lerner won a couple of races, I believe?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, 2 races.
But watching him drop back, getting scuffles in the mid-pack, whereas Kunze just puts it on pole and then drives away. That's what we're seeing. We're not seeing him pass for wins. He's just dominating.
Yeah, you made exactly the right point there. We saw at Sonoma uncharacteristic mistakes from Kunze, right? And he came 4th. We've seen mistakes from people like Lerner, and they DNF or they come 18th. You know, at Zandvoort we saw the same thing when Lerner didn't get a good result in that race 1, or race 2 in fact, and he won the race 3. It just shows it's so boom or bust with Lerner. Whereas Kunze, it's very much championship form, isn't it? Being able to, if you're going to make mistakes and still come 4th, that's a brilliant result. An absolutely brilliant result, especially in a field as stacked as this.
What's scary is that 4th is probably his drop score at the moment.
Yes, it is.
Which is just cheap. Like,
I think
it's not a bad result.
I think he's got 2 4th places. 1 at Nürburgring and 1 here. And you always get 3 drop scores. So he's probably dropping a podium at the moment. You've got other people dropping DNFs and 20th places left, right, and centre. So it's been a stunning season from Kunze, and it shows. If anybody who's wondering, you know, I've got the speed to win races, and if you're ever wondering how to win the championship and make it work, that is when you make it work. Is when you minimise your mistakes and you do damage control on the days when you can't win. And too many drivers don't have that self-control. Clearly, Kunze does. I mean, I like to think of Kunze as some kind of Terminator from Terminator 2, just kind of cool, calm, collected, never making a mistake, no expression on his face. And probably doesn't even smile when he wins a race.
I think he does. I mean, people don't realise, but when you win these kind of races, I remember when I'm going to talk about myself here. When I come back and in the first Clio Championship, when I won that first race, it's a relief, and every race I won after that, it's the feeling is just, it's silly, unreal. It's just a game at the end of the day, but you put so much effort into it, and the races are tough. It's not physical because you're just turning a wheel, but after it, it's a big relief. And we're going to ask him that at the end, because obviously we're going to give him an interview because he's going to win the next 2 races.
Don't say that. No one will watch the rest of this. So yeah, I mean, it's the competitive side of things, isn't it? I think what you're talking about there. It's beating other people. And that's the lifeblood for playing games for quite a few people out there. Clearly is for Kunze. And clearly is for several of the people out here. But some people just don't mind so much if they don't win. They just want to play the game and do as well as they can, if that makes sense. Whereas some people are obsessed with winning. They have to win. And it's a competitive edge.
He's a winner.
Makes you a winner. Yeah, that's something that's obviously very manifest, isn't it? But that's, some people just don't seem to mind too much, you know, like Chris Butcher, you know, for want to put him out there, it doesn't really care that much. Likes winning, but he can deal with it if he's not.
He's not a born winner like Kunze is. I imagine Kunze's a winner. He wants to win everything he does. If he plays a game of cards, I imagine that he's
annoyed if he doesn't win. He'll be trying to say other people are cheating, right?
Yeah, you just get those people.
You said it too early.
You just get those people who are just born winners, and Kunze is clearly one of them.
Yeah, it's probably a nightmare at home. Anyway, we're into qualifying now, and Malik's Learner is about to finish his opening lap, and the standings will come in for you now. Here they are on your left-hand side. Banky is on pole position, 45.6. Remember, it was Kunz with 45.6 in the first qualifying session. It was a little bit lower than that, so maybe Kunz can still sneak ahead of him. Wiesenmüller is in third. That's an improved performance from him already. Stanger fourth. He had a good qualifying performance again, remember. Shepard in Kunz in fifth right now. Shepard in sixth. Lerner is going round on another lap. He's just under a tenth of a second off in that first sector, and is 2/10 off in that final sector now. So he probably won't improve here, as we just watch and wait him. And we'll watch his teammate, in fact, actually Kunze. So he is very marginally ahead. He's absolutely hugging the inside of the track. This is what you're supposed to do, guys. Hug the inside of the track, and it gets you pole position. There you go. Exactly there, Adam. If he didn't hug the inside of the track there, he's going to lose around about 3 or 4 hundredths of a second. And look what he beat Banky by. That is the difference. That's the difference between a winner and somebody who just wants to do well.
Yeah.
Kunze pushed it right to the centimetre to the inside and kept the very shortest route.
I imagine he was on the front bumper cam there, just edging towards, looking at every pixel to just not touch the grass. He was properly hugging. We see Chris Shepard now, who's just running it out wide. It's well, yeah.
Very wide. As Marcel Hollock finishes his second lap, he was 25th at the moment. Hollock making his second race in the Division 1 after his debut at Sonoma Division 1. Chris Johnson now once again. What can Chris do here? Chris doesn't improve. Come on, Chris. He's had some good races so far this season, but not here today at Brands Hatch. Not quite getting the results he can get. Kunze is now 200th of a second up on himself. 5 thousandths of a second up on himself. That's unbelievable consistency. As Kunze goes out to the final corner. What can Banky do to respond here, of course? We can't see him on track right now, so he's clearly not doing very well. It's brilliantly improving, sorry, should I say, as Kunze doesn't improve himself. 45.743. It's a shoddy lap from Kunze. Only good enough for second. Here we go. Sorry. Thousands of a second up. Thousands of a second up. What can Banky do? Right out to the edge. Hug the inside bends. Come on. Right to the inside. Come on to the inside. It's not enough. It's not enough. This is the difference. If you don't get pole position here, it wouldn't be enough anyway. But that's the difference. If he did that on his, fastest lap, look right to the outside there. That's the reason he doesn't get pole position right now.
I agree. If you look at the time difference there, it's just hooked in. They're probably still in race mode as well. That's the issue. In race mode, you just let it flow out there. But that's the difference with Kunze. And I want to come back to Kunze in the starts as well. He nails the starts every time.
I've not seen a poor start from him. No, not seen a poor start from him. You're right. You're right about that. And I always look at it going, please get a bad start. Just because it'd be more interesting for us, as fans, you know what I mean? We appreciate the competition, but also as fans, we want to see even more going on. We got Trosen that jumped up the standings. Stevanovic went to 16th also as well. We've got 34 seconds left in this qualifying, so if you're not in the final sector probably right now, the middle sector, you're not going to send another lap to Glavac. Look at that, right to the inside. That's very good. He gets 4th as a result. And that probably got him ahead of Wiesenmüller by 100th of a second there. So unless Wiesenmüller himself did that. So Glavac there was important. If he hadn't done that, he wouldn't, of course, gone faster. As Kunze is going to go faster and faster here. He's hugging the inside once again. Can he beat his own time? He can. Very fractionally beat his own time. 45.637. So Kunze done several laps there. Good enough for pole position. And edges Banky out by under half of a tenth. I do apologise for not having the broadcast on into the action there. It's just to do with radio for now. It was a very pretty picture. So that is the end of qualifying, of course. Let me go back to the background picture now. Sorry about that. So another pole position for Jimmy.
You didn't miss much. It was Kunze putting it on pole. There we go.
Well, we did a great commentary there. That was like radio. Kunze on pole position once again. Banky again second spot. So 1-2 Banky. Again, can anyone do anything about Kunze this race? Surely Banky needs to get like a perfect start, but I think maybe on the inside there he's not got quite as much grip anyway.
Yeah, you've seen Kunze just shoot away at the start of race 1, again nailing his start. I think Banky should learn from the lessons being behind Kunze and just follow his line a little bit, especially on the exit of Druids. and coming out of clearways as well. His line just isn't quite right.
No, it isn't, and the race is about to get underway here. Moritz Lerner had a better qualifying position there. He's now in third spot this time around, so let's see what he can do to help or challenge his teammate, of course. Away from the grid they go for the second time today. It's a good start again for Kunze, and Banky this time is coming right across to the outside to stop Lerner getting through, and of course switches right back across, and it means that Lerner now is third spot. Right behind him is Chris Shepherd. Video, my apologies, I did press the button. Now Lerner in third spot, there you go, not missing anything right now. So Glavac in fourth, Stanger is in sixth right now, because Shepherd has thrown his way up the inside there, pulling his way more then. Shepherd is not messing about in this race. He got, of course, taken out by Lerner in the last race, and now Stanger's out wide as well, as the pressure from Wiese Muller just about hold the line there. Trostrom not had a good qualifying like he did in the first race, and now in ninth spot. So Glavac again having a better second race than he did in the first race, and again that's Dirk Nats out of the race again, perhaps with some kind of connection issues. He will be filthy about that. Remember, he didn't actually lead the race last time. Remember, we saw him later on battling, so not sure what's going on with his connection at the moment. But it's Kunze, Banky, Lerner, Glavac and Shepherd the top five.
Yeah, maybe he is just dropping back from the field because he has got a bad connection. Looking at what Chris Shepherd did there, Stanger just held them all up, and Shepherd was just like, I can't wait, I can't let Glavac get away. I just absolutely just threw one on the inside. Yeah. Exactly what I would have done, because Stanger, even though it was lap one, it just seemed to be a gap to those four in front of him. So Shepherd did well there. Shepherd's now dropped behind. Oh yeah, he stays there behind Glavac.
Well, if you ask Shepherd why he made the pass, he would say, well, gap. The gap. If you ask Stanger would have said, well, I was being conservative in the opening lap, because that's a sensible thing to do, and Chris Shepherd was being far too aggressive. It's always the other person's fault, isn't it, with racing drivers? Always have some kind of excuse, always save the other guy.
There's no room to be conservative in this field. Absolutely not.
Especially on a track like that as well, where everyone's so well matched. I'm looking back from Stanger now, Robert Wiese Muller all over the back of him. Something about Wiese Muller and Butcher when they're behind you, they always seem to fill your mirrors. It's never a case of they're a bit behind me, they're a little bit behind me, not really challenging. They're always right there. Look at that. Wiese Muller gets the overlap here out, trying to, not quite getting it. Look how close he was getting that overlap. And Stanger just about going to hold him off coming down this straight. But like I was saying, Adam, Rob and Chris just seem to fill your mirrors each time, or fill the bump cam in this case.
Yeah, they just seem to dance across the rear of your car as close as they can. It's like a little game they play, and I'm not sure they get some sort of kick out of it, but it's actually really difficult to do that as well, so fair play to both of them.
Reminds me of Craig Lowndes in a way. Craig Lowndes is always sticking his nose in where it's not wanted in V8 supercars. Sorry for getting Craig Lowndes reference in there, but he is my favourite driver.
Have you ever seen a Craig Lowndes car though?
I have not seen a Craig Lowndes car, and you're not allowed to bring this up in a broadcast. That's a naughty thing to do. Very mean, very cruel. You had it twice as well.
Going towards the front of the wheels, our Banky looks like he's very close at the moment to Kunze.
He does, but that kind of gap that we saw last time, didn't we? About 3 or 4 tenths of a second, never actually able to make any kind of move. So we'll just have to keep a close eye on it as we watch Stanger running over the curve once again. The cars dip into the ground as they go through there, of course. Oh, and hello, Rob. Nice advert there to Nico. Is that Nico in the front of the car? Is it Nika? Not very good advertisement if I can't read it, is it really? Is it Nika or Nico? Stay still. Suspension.
I can't really see. It's the resolution's too poor for me.
You guys can probably read it at home. We're on like 320 by 240 screen watching here, so it's a bit difficult for us to actually see what's going on. But Chris Shepherd is heading up this group. Looks like Glavac has the pace over him. It looks like Stanger perhaps has the pace over Shepherd as well. So Shepherd could be at the head of this group. We've got Chris Butcher with Trostrom right behind him. And look what I was saying about Chris and Rob. It will seem to fill your mirrors. Here comes Chris. He's not quite filling mirrors in this case. So this time around, not quite got the speed.
Quite poor qualifying, Chris, actually, considering he finished 5th in the first race, I believe. I'm not sure what happened to him in qualifying, but he's stuck down in 9th now.
And Benson Banky again. Well, we've seen this before. We've seen this story before. So we're not. It's very, very close to Kunze, but we'd love to get on board the hype train, the Banky hype train, but we won't do that because We're sensible people. We've seen this before where Banky's been in behind, not able to make a move because the issue is these guys are pushing these cars to the absolute limits. I'm not sure these cars can go any faster than they are right now. Do you know what I mean, Adam? They're on the very limit of what we've discovered they can actually do. So the fact they're doing that means no actual way of getting past because you're just going at the same speed around the track, kind of following each other in a electric type mode.
Yeah, you're looking just for any little small mistake. You're looking for Kunter just to bite a bit too much of a curb, get a bit bouncy and wide through here on the brakes. It's really difficult braking through here. You're constantly turning with it. And if you look at Banky took a curve there, all the way he comes onto the back of it. Kunter just drives away on the straights. He just seems to take a little bit of a deeper line there. He's keeping speed with him now.
Banky looking a little bit more aggressive this race than he did last race, isn't he? I have to say, last race he was right there and looked like he had the pace, but a little bit passive. This race it looks a little bit more aggressive, taking a few more different lines to cut than he did last time around. For example, like I said before, hooking the curve there at the final corner rather than just following Kunter, tit for tat.
Yeah, as we're looking back there, we mentioned him before, maybe the Chevy isn't too good over the bumps. Kunter looked nice and smooth there, whereas Banky just looked like he struggled a bit. If you look, he takes a lot of curve here, but then watch Kunter just drive away on the exit.
Kunter will win the grass, and that will cost him a 10.2. And now here comes Banky. Here we are. Here we go. Banky, he's put the pressure on Kunter. He won't pass him to this corner here, but he needs to make it happen so he can pass him to the next corner, or maybe the corner after that. Keep the pressure up. Look for those opportunities. Kunter's going to the inside. Banky to the outside, of course. Kunter is weaving under braking, trying to keep that car straight. Banky around the outside. There won't be room there. Oh, he has made a bit of room. He could go down the inside here at Grey Wheel. Ben's doing a great pass. He can pull it off. Kunter's around the outside. The wheels both be very fair indeed. Now Banky is fully alongside going down the Brabham straight. He should have the inside here into Surtees and Clearwoods, and he's made the move. He's made the move, Stick. He's in the lead of the race. Now, can he hold on to it? Learn their errors as well. He's going to get ganged up on by two Euronics drivers. Can Banky pull away?
Absolutely awesome from what Banky did. Like we said, we were looking for that little bit of mistake. He literally dropped his wheel onto the grass for a millisecond, and that's the mistake that Banky needed, and he was just setting up, and it's absolutely brilliant from both of them. Really wheel to wheel, touches but fair, close driving. Absolutely awesome move from Banky.
Yeah, it was. There was no shoving each other out the way. There was no bashing side by side, necessarily anyway. And that was beautiful professional driving from both the drivers there, I have to say.
What we haven't seen is Banky under pressure either. Watch him chasing, but we've not seen him under pressure. And I imagine Kunter, although he's got this in his lead, he can afford a drop score. Just go for it, Kunter. Let's see what you can do going forward.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We want Banky to win.
We do want Banky to win.
You're cheering for Kunter again. Stop it, Adam.
We want racing.
We do want racing. Right, so Kunter is in second spot, of course. Now we're looking back at Robert Wiesmuller. He's in seventh spot, and he's right in this battle pack. This looks like a very fun pack to be, quite frankly. There's lots of aggressive drivers in here. We've got Chris Shepherd, Stanger, Wiesmuller, Trostrom, Butcher. These drivers are not backward forward, that is for sure.
Yeah, you might watch Rob here making some interesting moves. He'll find moves around this track that no one thinks is possible. I'm just thinking, that's not really an overtaking move. Oh, he's done it, never mind.
Yeah, but if anybody does a better move than Brazzola did in the first race, I'll be very impressed.
Rob's capable of that, though. We've seen that from Rob in the last race at, I'm going to call it Infineon Raceway, because that's what it was. That's what I'm used to racing on.
Sonoma.
It's Infineon Raceway.
It's easy to say Sonoma.
That's what it's called on Gran Turismo, that's what I'm going to call it.
Whoa, don't mention other games. It's like
sorry.
swearing.
RaceRoom, I said, sorry.
Let's go Sonoma. Right, so we've got three larders, 10th, 11th and 12th. Very far apart, they're very lonely. But, three larders backing up this group. So larders not as dominant as they have been throughout the season. I don't think the larders are dominant season anyway. I think the driver, more than anything else, has been dominant. People have been blaming the larders saying it's superb bumps and too much power and whatnot. It certainly isn't the fastest through the fast corners. It certainly isn't the most nimble of cars either, in my own experience. So I think those concerns are unfounded throughout the season, and you see it yourself, as viewers on yourself, Adam, that learn when he struggles, he really struggles, and he's in the ladder. So think no one complained about their car choice this season so far. Perhaps their car choice they took didn't suit them, but of course, then again, then it's up to them to make the right choice at the start of the season. So either way, this is a very interesting battle. In fact, Chevrolet, Honda at the moment. So clearly the Chevrolet is OP. Please no.
Yeah, it's bear in mind what people don't realise is that a lot of prep went into the start of the season choosing the right car. You would have drove it on every track. Everyone had the chance to pick it. I don't think the line is OP at all. I think it's just very stable and it's good across all areas. You just got insane drivers in Kunze and Lerner.
You have, absolutely. And Lerner won all kinds of competitions on RaceRoom also. Well, Kunze's top of all the leaderboards in there. So down the inside, Stanger having a wee look, and now it's left him vulnerable to Rob. Rob's on the outside though, of course. But of course, Rob has his teammate there with him, so he's not under the same amount of pressure that he would be. Rob tried to make that work, didn't he? He tried to zoom off the outside of the fluids and throw down the inside Graham Hill, a la Banky, but it didn't quite work. Probably at the start of the season, RaceRoom as well, they put a lot of effort into making sure the cars were balanced. They obviously brought them out balanced to the best of their ability, but then the real pros, as it were, got in the cars, tested them, found there were a few nuances here and there, and Sector 3 actually fixed them exactly for this series. So if anyone doubts Sector 3's commitment to their game or to the leagues, then that is evidence against it right there.
You have to replicate the cars somewhat as to how they drive in real life, but remember this is an online sim racing game where things have to be balanced. Other games in various formats, and the best games are balanced. So they've done a great job in balancing out all the cars, and that's what I love about this series. It is balanced, and you can pick the prettiest car if you want. but they do have different styles as well.
They do have different styles of the cars, definitely. And really the thing is as well, what's so good about sim racing is that it's a very even sport. There's no randomness to sim racing at all. You're on track with little guys driving a car that behaves exactly the same way from lap to lap, depending on, of course, on how the tyre wears, for example, or the brakes wear, something like that. That's under, again, your control. And so if you mess up, generally your fault. Like if something goes wrong, it's more often than not your fault. And you may get hit by the driver, of course, which is unfair, but the best games, and the reason why the sim racing is so good, is because you can never ever blame anybody else but yourself for things that are in your control. Apart from somebody smashing into the back of you, of course, that's very different. We've now got Stanger being passed by Rob Wiesmuller, by the way. We missed that in the background. And Trostrom has not been able to make his way through. He's now challenging down the inside, though, of Stanger into Paddy Hill Bend. Surely he'll make a move here. Oh, Chris! Hello! P1 GP, Chris Butcher, into the gravel trap at Paddy Hill Bend. Wow. And he brings Joe back on, staying alive. Oh! Down the inside is going to go Bogdan as well. He won't be happy about that, Chris. No, not quite down the inside. Bogdan tried it. Chris is hanging on around the outside. There's contact between the two, of course. And Chris held the car into Graham Bend because he's got dirt on his tyre now. He's showing it. He's quite slow right now. Bogdan's all on the back of him. He's, of course, a very aggressive driver. He's not going to allow Butcher any moment to settle whatsoever. But it looks like Butcher will hold on just here. Butcher there, who was obviously just looking to take advantage a bit too much of the Trostrom-Stanger battle, trying to take as much outside line as possible to get a beautiful exit, so we can get down the inside of Trostram's bend. Of course, a bit too much, and went all Japanese.
Yeah, when you do that as well, and you're trying to take as much as you're pulling the car in, and obviously if you just get that tyre a little bit on the grass, you do what Chris does there, and just drift straight across the track.
I went all Tokyo Drift with us. Anyway, back to the front of the field. Julian Kunze still right behind Ben Spanky. 6 minutes. Ooh, and just stepping out onto the grass there again. Just a tiny bit. Not quite as much as he did when he was passed by Banky. But in around about 2 minutes' time is when Banky started to drop back from Kunze in the first race. He dropped back from being 0.4 of a second behind to about 1.2 seconds behind. So this could be where Banky will start to drop. And it looks like Kunze has got the speed right now.
He's just looking a little bit more smooth, using that, really pushing out towards again, using that line. I just don't know why no one else is replicating it. It just looks so much more quicker, and like we were saying,
more quicker.
So much. This
is why I'm inspired Adam, because he's a beautiful wordsmith.
I am. I mean, we spoke about it in earlier rounds as well. The lock on Kunz's car is just unreal, and even compared to Banky's a top class driver, but Kunz's lock just looks 10 times better than anyone else's.
It's very impressive indeed, but of course, remains to be seen whether Banky can hold on to this position. This time around, their fastest laps are both in the 46.0s once again, 46.024 from Kunze, 46.061 from Banky, and once again they're the only drivers in 46.0s. They really are the class of the field here today, and I'm so impressed by Ben Banky. This is the first superstar happening right here.
Yeah, this is, well, I don't want to say the new Kunze, but he's going to be churning out Kunze-esque performances in the future, no doubt, if he carries on this path he's going on.
Yeah, I mean, and the first one was the hardest as well. The first win. Once you got that first win under your belt, other wins feel quite easy. Again, Kunze just dropping a wheel on the edge of the grass once again there. Just trying to push it right to the edge. But of course, it's quite difficult to see the exit of the corner when you're right in behind the driver. If you just go on board with Kunze, when you're right behind, and remember, you may have a view that's even further forward. That wing at the back of the car and the side skirt just covers the entire track. You really can't see where you're going. You're just kind of following the car ahead at the end of the day. And of course, when you're trying to push a bit further than the guy ahead, try and get past him, you try and push a bit further. And that means you go out onto the edge of the grass if the other person's right there. Glavach and Shepherd are in a ding-dong here. Shepherd is holding Beesmuller off around the outside of Grave Hill Bend. And now this will translate into Shepherd on the inside into the fast S's here. Trostrom has got past Stanger, by the way, so it's a turn up the book. Stanger took third spot in the last round, but a slight change in fortune means he's 7th in this race. Such is the way things can change.
Chris Shepherd is one of those that does suffer with tyre wear towards the end of the race, and we're seeing that now with 3 cars, just hoping Rob does something here, and then they can follow through as well.
I think he will. He's never not shy about that sort of thing. We've known him, probably is now, without doubt, the best taker in Touring Pro Series.
Some of the moves we see him pull off are just absolutely unreal. I think we watched it at Sonoma.
Oh, what happened there to Shepherd? His car just stopped on the exit of the corner, and Beesmuller got into the back of him. Of course, had nowhere to go because he didn't expect Shepherd to be off the throttle there. Shepherd's car just kind of half died then, and that meant that Beesmuller hit the back of him. And now, of course, Beesmuller has a lovely overlap going into the fourth last lap, and he has now surely going to take position away from Shepherd. It's Trostrom now is going to, of course, try and take advantage of that. Beesmuller's through. Shepherd has lined back in again. Oh, Beesmuller just about got back to the inside there before Shepherd made it an overlap. That was good driving there. He knew exactly what was coming there from Shepherd, and he cut it off at its source as quickly as he could. Now Shepherd, of course, should now drop back. Remember, tyre wear is his issue. But it looks like it's a bit better than normal though, Adam. Because normally by this time he would drop back behind these guys and we'd be absolutely mullered by these guys. He'd pass by one, he'd pass by all 4 in the same lap. But this time around, he looks like he's actually pretty much with these guys, if not just as quick, because he's got another overlap.
Yeah, looking at his lock, it does look a lot better actually to previous rounds, and when I say a lot, it looks a lot better, and he's got a run on Rob here as well, coming into Paddock.
Rob will not be pleased about this at all, but of course, he'll try and do what Shepherd did last time, try and get an undercut into Drew. Looks like he's got it this time around also as well. He's managed to make it work. Shepherd is now under pressure from Trostrom. Trostrom shoving his Honda in there. Around the outside comes Stanger. Thank you very much, boys. I'll have that position. I'm going to dive down the inside of my fellow Chevrolet driver at Grave Hill Bend. Not going to happen this time around. Great driving there from Shepherd to hold him off around the outside. It gave just a meter room at the apex, didn't lose his speed himself, and made sure that of course Stanger didn't hit him as well. So that was a beautiful drive from Shepherd, and what a move from Stanger. Hello.
Yeah, it looked like Rob tried to hold Chris up on the apex, and Trostrom just tried to nick down the inside. Chris is probably a little bit late to it, but I think he was entitled to do it. Just moved across him, and Stanger just drove straight round the outside of him. Brilliant move.
Oh, no, what is no laughing matter is because Kunze trying to pull a Banky on Banky. It didn't work, and now we've only got one more lap after this for Kunze to try and find a way through. Kunze is looking very threatening indeed. He's probably got maybe 1 or 2 opportunities left to get past Banky, take his 9th win of the season, or Banky to hold Kunze off and take his first Touring Pro Series win in his debut season in the Touring Pro Series.
And it'll be an impressive win as well with the likes of Kunze in the field. Your first win in this series is absolutely insane.
Mega, isn't it? It's mega. Because you get your first win against someone like Ryan Callan, it doesn't really count. A win against Julian Kunze, it counts 100%. Oh, and the cutback from Kunze. He's gone too deep. He's now on the outside. He has to hold the inside here. He's been here before, remember though. He has to hold the inside here at Gravenhill Bend. Of course, Kunze lets him do it. Knows he will probably get pushed out wide in the exit. Trying to get a good exit and get back down the inside and overlap for the next set of corners. Not going to happen. Will he go for a move here? He's looking for it. No, to the outside. Banky held a lovely tight line there. There's no room. Banky's now got the exit off the corner. He should now hold the win. He is going to hold the win. Banky is going to take his first Touring Pro Series win. Fantastic work from him. Congratulations to the young man. Kunze did all he could, but couldn't quite make it work. He takes second spot. Lerner, his teammate, in third. What do you think of that, Adam?
That's absolutely huge, I think. It's not a dent in Kunze's championship, but it's a dent in his confidence that he can just run these races, put it on pole and win. Absolutely huge win from Banky there.
Nats, has he just carried through that damage from the first race? Maybe he has that damage because he lags at some point and hits some kind of wall, perhaps.
It looks identical.
It's identical damage, isn't it? Not quite sure what's happened to poor Turk. But either way, he's been in the walls in both races here. But what a win there from Ben Banky. There is confirmation of the results by less than 2/10 from Julian Kunze. He was in trouble there for a couple of laps at the end. Banky's tyres are just not quite as good as Kunze. They're almost there, but there's still another 0.1% to find. Lerner in third. Nice solid race from him. Glavach almost caught him in the end. So Glavach looks like, oh, look at the crash in the background. AI doing well. Well done, AI. As Glavach takes that fourth spot, he improved once again. So from 10th, of course, to fourth. And then Beesman the fifth. Shepherd in sixth. Stanger in 7th, Trostrom 8th, Schultz in 9th, and Brizola round out the top 10. We didn't see very much of Brizola in that race. He took that top 10, so he was a sleeper that time around. Bastos, we talked about him being a sleeper this championship, he took 18th, so they swapped roles, the two Brazilians there, both racing for 2A Motorsports, of course. And rounding out the rest of the field, 12th spot was Andrew Bogdan, with 13th Amaral, Bell, Visa, Jacobs, Nats, Bastos, of course, we talked about Wheeler and Johnson in the top 20, with Holok, Lazarenko, Stevanovic, Oynas, and Reed once again rounding out the finishers. So, we finally have a different winner to talk about here, Adam. We have a new winner also, well, of course. It's not a case of, oh, it's Robert Wiesemuller taking the win, 3 times champion. It's a case of a newbie, Ben Banky, from Slovenia, taking his first Touring Pro Series win. And we've got 2 Slovenians so far this season who've won their debut races. Open races, their first races. I don't know what is the word?
Their debut season, Callum.
They've won, no, that's not right.
No?
That's actually, what I'm trying to say is they've won their first races. They've won their first victories. Something to do with that.
They have sealed their first victories in the Touring Pro Series. There you go.
Sealed. There you go. We'll use that word, okay? Sealed. And I was asking you for your opinion as well.
Yeah, like I said,
we've got Glav actually in the season. Very much different age to Banky, but great to see them. They worked out. They both beat Trostrom in the straight fight. Trostrom in the straight fight. Kunze in the straight fight.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's a dent in his championship.
No.
Obviously, if you put him off, it is. But it's a dent.
Again.
It's a dent in his confidence that now he knows that someone is there who can not only lap him for in qualifying as well, but he was there in the race and can pull a move on him as well. We've only seen Robert pull a move on Kunze, but Robert's sitting in 5th position this race, 10 seconds behind, where you got Banky who can lap as quick as him and pull a move on him, and it'll be a small dent in his confidence.
Do you really will think it dent his confidence, or will he just kind of take it in his stride? I would have thought he'd just, that guy was good today. I've got a ridiculously in championship, I'm really not that bothered. That's how I would feel.
We've said he's a winner, and I think it'll just annoy him that he couldn't grab that. He's lost the race by just under 2 tenths. So
and it was his own mistake as well, which is key. It's probably what annoys him, is the fact he made his own mistake, right, on the edge of clearways, and it set himself up, making him vulnerable. And Banky finally completed the pass half a lap later, which is how you've got to make passes at this level. When you're at the front of the field and people are lapping almost as fast as a car will go, 99.9% to the actual limit of the car's speed, you have to actually set up passes So they happen like half a lap or a lap later. We saw it with Chris Butcher. He managed to make the pass. I took about a lap and a half to set it up. Remember, down at the hairpin it happened, and then it happened at the other hairpin at the far end of the circuit. Of course, he didn't hold on to that obviously later in the race, but it took him half a lap to get past. So, and Banky did the same thing. So it's key at this level to make sure that's what you do. You set overtaking opportunities up. You slowly but surely work at them. You eke a little bit here and there, and you go for it, and finally go for it maybe a few corners later, rather than the traditional view of bang, you go for an overtake, you through, or bang, you go for an overtake, you don't do it.
It's very rare, especially up front in this series, that you'll see someone just throw it up the inside from, without having an overlap, and suddenly they've got the position. They can't, because like we've said, these cars can't go any faster. Julian Kunze is driving this car as quick as it will go. So you literally can't do it. You've got to wait for the mistake, like you said, and because they are like trains, these guys up front, you can't budge them off the line. You've got to set it up, and I do love a good setup move as well. That's why I enjoy the field being so quick, because there's class and skill in setting up a move, few corners. Absolutely brilliant.
Like you said, that's right there. It does take absolute class, and these guys are performing the very, very best of their abilities. I challenge anybody in the world to come and sit down and go as fast as these guys. These guys really are taking this to the absolute limit. You can see it in the way the cars are driven, in the way that it's so difficult to pass when you're at the front of the field, because you can't go any faster. And it's so impressive to see, I have to say. Right, so we're back with qualifying just around about a minute's time here, guys. And we've got race 3 coming up also as well. Race 3 is often a bit of a basher. So people let loose, the grudges have built up, the tempers have got frayed, and race 3 often you find a few body parts and panel parts littering the track. So we're looking forward to that. Back in around about 1 minute's time. Hello and welcome back to qualifying. Here we are in qualifying 3 for race 3 of France Hatch Round 5 of the TCOne 2016 Championship, and everyone has just completed their opening lap. Well, I say everyone, pretty much everyone's completed their opening lap, and it's Banky already on that pole position, but not in the point sequence where he needs to be to probably to hold off Kunze. Kunze in second spot already. As we're watching Moritz Lerner, here we are now. Moritz Lerner, he's 2/10 off once again. He's quick, isn't he, this weekend, Moritz? But he's not quite got the level that we want.
No, we've seen him in races be as quick as Kunze, but there's a couple of attempts behind it. What I wanted to mention as well before we went out to the break is we're saying these guys are driving these cars as quick as they go. Remember, they're not just jumping in them as well. There's prep to this. There's a setup which takes hours, and the ability to set your car up to how you want it and to perform well over a race is very difficult.
And it's not just that as well. When you talk about setting up the car, but it's the mentality and the strength of mind to put the work in to do that. Lots of people can't do it. You know, that they find that they get bored by it, but to be able to go quickly, and Banky's improving here as we're watching the final corner, you've got to put that effort in. Stay the inside, Banky. and to put the effort in is a kind of a talent in itself, because drivers, they can't keep focused during practice sessions, and they won't try new things, or they don't know how to figure out a setup, or they need help from other drivers, and that's what separates the really quick from the quick.
Yeah, I imagine Julian Kunze as he's flying around here. It looks like he's just about to put this on pole. Doesn't go to anyone for help with setup. He does it. I imagine Lerner is on TeamSpeak or whatever messenger these guys use, begging for a setup. But Julian Kunze does it. You see so many guys on TeamSpeak coming in and asking for setup, how they're doing it. I mean, when I was racing and I was winning races, I literally turned up with hardly any practice, dialed in some oversteer in the car, and off I went. You can't do that now because I wouldn't even be in server 1.
No, the level is so much higher, isn't it now? Back when we were racing, I mean, I did a little bit more practice than you did, but it's not a patch on what these guys do these days. You know what I mean? And even exploring the different setup options, trying to even exploit any kind of inconsistency there is in the settings, and it's just that's something you just have to do, because once one person does it, everyone has to do it. As RaceRoom goes into 6th spot, Banky's improving here. So can Banky finally usurp Julian Kunze from pole position here? If he keeps the inside, he is keeping the inside, but just a little bit to the inside, and he goes for pole. Fantastic stuff. He goes pole by 0.003 of a second. You gave me a heart attack there, Ben. If he kept to the inside, he would have like at least like 6,000
seconds.
And Bogdan crosses the line. He stays in 21st. Ooh, wouldn't be happy with that at all. He has qualified much better than that throughout this weekend, as Wheeler looks like he may improve here. 4.448 off in that first sector, so he needs just to kind of hold his line here. No, he's not improved at all. I talked absolute rubbish.
We've got Chris Butcher 3rd and Chris Shepherd 4th.
We have, and Glavich 5th. We've got Lerner down in 8th. And look how close the times are, though. Schulze is less than 0.3 off the pole position, and he's 9th. He's less than a 10th off 3rd, and he's 9th. Yeah. He must be just sick as a parrot right now. Absolutely sick as a parrot.
And let me tell you as well, finding that time around this track will absolutely drain the living life out of you.
It's such a short track, isn't it? Like, there's only 4 corners. Where? But it is amazing how the top guys still managed. Even though the track is so much shorter, they were half a second ahead at Sonoma, right? Which is a longer track. They're still half a second ahead here. It's like, I don't understand it. I see this time and again. I'm like, oh, we're really close this time around. That'd be like 2/10 in it, maybe. Maybe with a really lucky lap, I can get pole position here against these guys. No, they do the exact same thing. They still find half a second. Just hacking. Just hacking. That's what it is.
Well, that's what we'll go for.
Everyone's just mem hacking.
But we do have a new man on pole in Banky, and let's see if we can continue that brilliant race too. And I'm really rooting for Banky here. I don't know why I've become a little bit of a groupie of Banky.
Yeah, a bit of a fan.
I'm enjoying him, to be honest.
You gonna phone a
club? Yeah. It's on Facebook. It's
www.facebook.com/Adam Vaughan's Banky fan club. There you go. So the race, Banky away from the win goes. That's a slow start from Banky. In fact, Kunze looks like he got a great start there. And Banky's now on the outside, heading towards turn 1. And he looks like he's going to lose the lead to Kunze as a result. He is, and now Kunze down the inside also as well. And we've got, that looks like Glavich down the inside. Shepherd on the inside, of course, their teammates in the black and white cars. And Banky has lost out completely here. Banky holding third position though, just about managing to hold position from Shepherd. He's going to now back down the inside, try and pass it down towards the...
A lot of talking there from Calvin. Just want to mention Chris Butcher as well, who's used Banky's poor start and he's slipped up to second really aggressive at the start of this. I'm a bit of a Butchie fan as well, so
I just died.
So I'm hoping Butchie can catch up to Kunze and pressure Kunze like he did in the last round at Sonoma RaceRoom.
Yeah, it's a poor start there from Banky. He's on pole position, did all that hard work, but finally taking pole position, and then he didn't seem to react to the lights, did he? Kunze's car leapt from behind, Banky didn't. I'm not sure what happened there. He did well not to let Shepherd and Glavich through as well. But of course they are new teammates, aren't they? So probably Shepard gave him a little bit of an easy ride there, making sure he didn't stick a nose in and let him go through.
Just watching Dirk Nats just dropped down the field again. He's actually in the top 10 and he's dropped to last, and now he's 8 seconds behind. I'm not sure what he's done. But
There's some kind of weird lag he gets in the opening lap, I think, because then he kind of, after like 2 or 3 laps, he restores himself. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It's like magic. But Banky's all over the back of Chris here, and the problem is Chris is not as fast as Butcher. He's not as fast as Banky, but he's fast enough to hold Banky up for several laps here, and aggressive enough to do that also. Yeah,
Butcher will not be letting Banky through, and if this is letting Kunze get away, he's already looks like he's just trying to grab a second gap from Butcher. And yeah, Banky's race is not looking good from this here now.
Here, he will. What a good move that is from Banky. He's just got the overlap, but the inside now. Look how much the inside gave. Oh, and Chris, hello. What's happened? Oh, was that a bit of lag or a bit of Chris completely chopping Banky off, because that was very dangerous indeed. Whatever happened.
Yeah, it looked like.
He's still going to pass him. What a move is going to be? He's still going to pass him. So if Chris did chop him up, have it was the answer from Banky. This is bashing doors still. Bashing doors still. He can't let him just have it. And that was a great move from Banky. And Chris just wasn't accepting of it. And eventually Banky has fended Chris off.
Yeah, Chris looked like he got a right speed up, and it did look like Chris did cut him off. It looked like he reacted late to Banky being on the inside. It looked like Banky just took his normal line there. So I was mentioning Banky, he does take a lot of curve going into McLaren, and Butcher just didn't see it, chopped it off late, and found himself speed wobbling across the start finish line.
Oh, unbelievable! It's amazing. It wasn't a massive crash there, because in the opening part of the race also as well, everyone's so packed together, tight, and in almost a blind corner that is as you come round. Was obscured by the pit wall, and at top speed as well. That could have been a humongous accident. Banky, whatever the case, managed to make the move and go through. Butcher lost out in the end. Didn't seem to want to accept that Banky could go around the outside. Was still bashing away at the course of Union. So we're very good about that. But then again, like we were saying before, putting yourself in the position for bad things to happen, and that's happened because Banky didn't get a good start.
I think Chris is really quick at the start of races, so I'm interested to see if he can catch up to Butcher. Butcher looks like he dropped him, and in the background we have the usual Robert Wiesenmuller and Glavach battle going on.
Trostrom, Wiesenmuller, Glavach, Shepard. It's starting to fair, isn't it? You've got Lerner back in this battle now as well. It's in this battle in race 1. He ended up losing his cool and bashing wheels with Amaral. Amaral's not far behind this group as well. Schulze, Stanger and Amaral. Amaral's having a nice solid event. And then he can get some good points in that first race. And then solid event in race 2 also as well. So this is the usual battle.
Oh, it looked like, I'm not sure who that was. It was either Glavach and it looked like Shepard tried to make a move on Butcher, but held up a little bit, and Glavach just slightly running to the back of Shepard there. Yeah, like it all got mixed up there. Going into McLaren.
These guys have been driving together like this for, nigh on 50 minutes now. They must be sick of the sight of each other.
Especially this group as well, because it looked like they've just been stuck to get glued together throughout the whole group. And, yeah, like you were saying before, Shepard, Glavach, Wiesenmuller, Trostrom have all been just glued to each other across all 3 events so far.
Well, they're sick of each other. They wanted to take sick leave from work this right? So Trostrom is kind of at the back, but in the middle of this group also as well. We've got Lerner. Lerner's got to 11th, by the way. While we've both been on board with Trostrom, Lerner's gone back to 11th spot. So another Lerner mistake. He really does not learn. Down the inside, that's where he's gone. I'd say Cop down the inside now also as well. And there's big damage on the side of Lerner's. He's hit the wall hard somewhere. He has hit the wall hard somewhere. Maybe got out of shape for the S's perhaps, and hit the wall. It's on the right side of the car. Where would he hit the wall there? Oh, what is this move around the outside? Ooh, hello. Nice. Very nice. What's Cop doing? Got to sleep at the wheels, Cop. Pull him over, police. Where would he hit the inside wall there? Maybe he got pushed into the pitfall. I can't think where that would be.
They all did sort of fall back a little bit, that group of Glavak, Bees and Muller. They all did sort of come back a little bit as Shepard and Glavak were dicing, and as Bees and Muller's got past Glavak now. Maybe he's just, I don't know, he just ran into the middle of them there, but I'm not sure how he's
Oh,
got
hello.
that
Hello. Schultz trying to go around the outside of Trostrom. Thank you very much. I've now got the inside of Graham Hill Bend. I'm going to shove my way through. Off onto the grass you go. Thank you very much. My position. What a move from Schultz. This is a great passing here. This is
great move. People are really catching on people just not being aware. You can run around the outside there because the next corner is the left-hander. So
not completed yet, Adam. Sorry if we broke, because now Trostrom back down the inside because Schultz couldn't quite get back in line and to make it have the optimal line for that final corner, and that means that Trostrom is now caught on the inside of him. Schultz on around the outside. Of course, we've got Stanger in behind here. We've got Lerner looking to take advantage of as well. Stanger's go down the inside of Schultz. Schultz going to try and go around the outside once again on one of these cars. Not going to happen this time. Stanger shoves his car in there. Thank you very much. We've got Amaral side by side with Dennis Kopp and Lerner. Goodness me, how close are all these guys? It's going to end in tears at some point, surely. We've got Trostrom, Stanger, Schultz, Lerner, Amaral, Kopp. But James is catching back of this group as well. So Amaral, he's looking for revenge from Lerner, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, it's very tight this group. And absolutely awesome.
How are they not crashed yet?
I think Amaral will be a little bit disappointed actually with the positions at the moment. He's got top 10 pace at this round, and we've seen him. I think it was 6th position he fell back from in race 1, so I think he'll be a little bit disappointed where he is right now.
Yeah, he finished 11th in here, 13th in race 2, so didn't quite show it there. But this race, he's really got a great sniff here. Definitely going to that 7th spot because you can see 7th spot right ahead of him. They are absolutely nose to tail. To use a Murray Walker analogy, you could throw a blanket all over them.
To see what
then, and with it just talking back to the front of the field, Banky has a 2-second gap to Coulter, 1.7 seconds after Banky got past Butcher. So clearly they're both very much the same pace, and it looks like Banky won't be getting to the back of Coulter in this race unless Coulter makes some kind of weird mistake, which is probably not going to happen from the metronomical German.
Yeah, what will be interesting, like I said earlier, we haven't really seen it come into play, but lapping cars, I think the back of the field will be a little bit slower this time. It just tends to happen in third races. They all go wheel banging. So it'll be interesting to see when Kunze does come to the back of them. I'm not sure the track now when that happens.
Have you seen how close this field is? This is unbelievable. We got Visa back in 17th. There is Chris Visa. He's got Bogdan ahead of him. He's got Vassal straight ahead of him. He's got Bell straight ahead of him. Jacobs, then Kopp, then Amaral, then Lerner, then Schultz, then Stanger, then Trostrom. All the way from 17th to 7th to 11 cars are almost within the same shot of each other. The same shot of each other.
It looks like lap 1. It looks like lap 1. Absolutely brilliant.
Now we're watching Klaus Schultz. He's watching this battle. He's actually watching the battle behind him between between Lerner and Amaral. Amaral trying to go around the outside of Morris Lerner. Not going to happen. Not going to get the overlap for Graham Hill either. So Lerner knows it's in the battle here. Amaral has seen off Kopp for now. Kopp has got Jacobs in behind him. We'll be loving this battle. Bell, Bastos, Bogdan and Bastos fighting each other also as well. Swapping positions on the leaderboard on the left-hand side there. What look? I don't know who to click on. It's Amaral. It's like a 360-degree camera we can turn live.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome RaceRoom. Just saying. They're all being quite similar at the moment. Actually, they were swapping positions earlier, but they all seem to have sorted themselves out now. And
well, I think Jesus would go on track right now because it's an absolute miracle that nobody has crashed in this week.
It is, yeah. Mid pack is not usually good for if you're after clean racing. But it's been all the moves have been solid, really.
Especially at this track as well. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. It's this track of all tracks where it's been really clean. It's been fantastic.
What's going on?
I don't know. We've all been taking some tranquilizers or something.
Did you hand out harsh penalties last time? I'm not sure what that line is from Petrol. You seem to apex that corner about 18 times there.
The last one was when the corner had already ended. Straight bit by that, Amaral. Amaral's new technique, apexing on straights.
Yeah, you can see
future man.
where he's lost the learner as well in front of him. It's not the best line to take, but it's weird how Lerner was catching up to these guys in front as well. Like I said, he's not far off Kuntz's pace, but once you're there, you seem to just slot into their times then, and there's nothing he can do about it.
I mean, if you're only a tenth faster than the guys around him, remember he was only a tenth faster. Well, in qualifying in race 1, for example, in race 2, qualifying 2, should I say, and he was in that zone of like 8th, 9th spot, wasn't he? Whereas he was less than a tenth slower than 3rd spot, but ended up being 8th, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So if you're losing a tenth or faster by a tenth, that's just not enough. It's just not enough to pass anyone, unfortunately. You have to like wait for mistakes and put pressure on people and wait for those psychological errors that come, rather than your pure pace allowing you to make any kind of move.
Looking back at Kopp made quite a big mistake coming into Paddock Hill Bend, and just Jacobs was forcing him to the inside there. I think he went a bit too narrow though. I don't think he had to defend that much, but yeah, he got a shocking in Paddock Hill Bend.
He smelled opportunity there, didn't he? It was like blood in the water, he thought. But he was a great white. It didn't quite happen. This group was all settled down. They're all very, very close indeed. But Butcher and Shepherd having a wee battle, that's for sure. Butcher and Shepherd having a wee battle. Of course, the right camera, please. There we go. Butcher into the first corner. He's got Shepherd right in behind him. Like we said before, no love lost between these two, and no quarter is given or left on the track either, is it, between these two?
No, they've had a couple of discussions between themselves on TeamSpeak as they've been racing, and they're both very aggressive drivers, rightly or wrongly. And like I said, Shepherd, he just seems to drop off the ground now, but I'm quite impressed with his pace actually. He seems to be keeping behind Butcher, so wherever he
well, we talked about the second race, didn't we, where he got past with Wiesenmüller but immediately fought back. So I think maybe he's concerned about those tyre issues. But these two drivers are the type who, you know, if they have to leave every body part on the track to keep the position, they will do, down to the last piston.
Oh, Chris will rip them off and throw them at you if he has to.
James Bond style at the back of his car. But catching up to the back to these two, by the way, is Wiesenmüller and Glavak. We could see a four-way fight for 3rd spot here, just as we're seeing like a 20-man way fight for 7th spot.
Yes, it's 7 to 16 has dropped back now. We've got Amaral and 11, who just seems to be in a bit of no man's land between them. But there is 2 tight little gaps there, and it does look like everyone, Wiesenmüller and Glavak, are catching up to Shepherd now, and Butcher has just slightly pulled away from Shepherd as well.
It's distilled into 2 groups now, hasn't it? Amaral's kind of like the separator between the 2 groups. So instead of having 11 cars, we've just got 2 groups of 5. Sorry guys, only 2 groups of 5.
It'll spice up.
Oh, it will spice up. I thought Jim's going to make good old Australian pig.
It looks like he's driving.
Yeah, sorry, Bastos looks like he's trying to make a move here on Mike Bell. Or with him. Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Just saying hi. I thought we were friendly enough to say Mike. That's as far as you're supposed to come, mate. This is my door. My bumper. My paint. Leave it alone. I don't want blue on the black, thank you. It doesn't go under red.
I'm interested what sort of line. Bastos has done the same thing there as what Amaral did, and it seemed to apex onto the straight, whereas Mike, he hooked that up really nicely, and you can see that how much.
Oh, look ahead! Jacobs finally making a move on Kopp. Well, oh, Jacobs down the inside. Can Kopp hold him off? No, he can't. Jacobs will have the inside now for Graham Bender also as well. This is a hard fought pass Jacobs is having to make here. I know it's contact between Kopp and Jacobs. Understandably, given a little bit of ping issues there also well, just driving Kopp mental right now. We've got Bell swerving and swarming all over the back of Dennis. Kopp would not be pleasing him either. Bell's going to go down the inside, surely. Kopp trying to hold him off. Oh, hello, exhaust. Hello, exhaust. Bell now has the inside overlap going down the front straight. No, not quite able to make it move. The slipstream there from Jacobs, a tiny bit of slipstream, helped Kopp to stay ahead, despite the fact he was taking a slightly longer route. Actually, that's the teammate of Mike Bell, is Sean Jacobs, so he's probably cursing Sean right now for not allowing him to go through and give the slipstream to him.
It looked like what happened was Bell actually just just touched the inside of Jacobs, got him sideways with McLaren, and then what Bastos has done is then rear-ended Bell, and I think he's just pushed him forward, and then he's got momentum, but he just didn't seem to have it on the straight. But yeah, a little bit naughty there from I think it was Kopp actually. Kopp in front of Bell.
Yeah, it was a bit difficult, wasn't it? Because Jacob's car is not exactly right on the track, and when you're trying to race very, very close, you're being passed side by side. It's very difficult for Kopp to judge that, and of course, no harm, no foul in that particular case. So I give him a benefit of the doubt. Bell now looks like he's going to try and get the over. Oh, Kopp, he just covered in time. He just covered in time. Bell just way to the outside. Not going to make the stick. No, he's not. Kopp is too wise for that, too of an aggressive driver for that to happen. And he holds the line into Graham Hill Bend. We've got still 3 minutes to go here, and Butcher has pulled well away from Shepherd, who's under massive pressure now from Wiesenmuller, from Glavach, from Trosum and Stanger. So Trosum and Stanger have extricated themselves from that battle with Lerner and Schulze, and Amaral, of course, who dropped back, and it's become a different group of 5 for an even more high-stakes position. Will Wiesenmuller make a move? I think he will.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Stanger has caught onto the back of this, to be honest.
I think they must have had some kind of hold-up, some kind of incident, because Butcher's pulled out 3 seconds on them also as well, hasn't he? And they've lost 3 seconds to that little group behind. So I presume at some point they've had a bit of a bashing contest, a side by side, a bit of a sideways contest, and lost that time that way. It was a hell of a gap to lose, isn't it? 3 seconds.
Yeah, it must have had like you said, a right ding dong in the last few laps. But again, I think what we're seeing is Shepherd's tyre wear not doing a massive favour here, and this is only a matter of time, I think, until Robert gets him.
I've seen worse from Shepherd, that's for sure. He's definitely improved his tyre situation. Maybe it's the fact
that
it says Nika, by the way. It says Nika. He's definitely improved the tyre situation, but it probably helps with the fact that he's only turning one way at this track. He's going to only wear one of the tyres. There is Rob. Rob, will he get the over? No. Locks back in. Here comes Glavach.
Look how close he is. Oh my god.
Both of them just munching on the back of each other. Glavach munching on the back of Wiesenmuller. Wiesenmuller munching on the back of Shepherd. Shepherd, he'll be urging Glavach on. Just give him a wee nudge. Give him a wee nudge. Give me some gap. Glavach's like, well, I could do, but then I might not get my position as well. So Glavach is trying to play the team game and the obviously the individual game here at the same time. And that's another little context you get in motorsport and sim racing as well, is there's an individual battle and a team battle at the same time. You're out there for yourself, you're also out there for your team, and sometimes you have to compromise between the two.
Here's Robert. Ooh, is that one spit?
He missed the apex, there's contact. There is contact, and Wiesenmuller will surely go through here. No, Shepherd's got the inside, sorry. That means Wiesenmuller to the outside. Glavach actually will get, no, he won't. Wiesenmuller just cut him off in time. Oh, that was close. That was close. Glavach just couldn't quite time the overlap. And this is going to, Wiesenmuller. Straight on he goes, straight on. It looked like maybe there's a bit of contact there. Glavach perhaps wasn't pleased about being nerfed out of the way. But Wiesenmuller now found himself in behind Trosum. Unless he made a mistake of his own, it looked like maybe Glavach was a bit naughty there. But maybe Glavach got Trosum, you never know.
Yeah, it did look like the angle that Rob's car ended up at, it did look like a small push there from Glavach. Oh, like not a massive push, but just enough to cause that and say, don't chuck me off. Sorry about that.
Hey, boyo. And then we've got Stanger and Schulze smashing into each other. No, it's Stanger and Lerner smashing into each other. Somehow Lerner's back up to the 8th spot. He's recovered after that damage to his car. Not quite sure how that happened. We've got Schulze keeping a watching brief. He's got the best seat in the house. Let's go on board with him then. See, he's watching all this action. On board with Klaus Schulze. His second race in Division 1. He's going to be absolutely loving this. How good is this racing here today, guys? We've got Stanger back down the inside of Moritz Lerner. Best of buddies they are. Kissing wheels. And now down towards Paddock Hill Bend they go.
I believe that is the last lap, by the way.
Yes, it was indeed the last lap. It was. I do apologise. We got so caught up in that battle. It was such an intense, amazing battle, lad. We didn't even notice that was the last lap. And Schulze, we just caught the end of it. So Kunze won from Banky and Butcher, Shepherd, Glavach, Wiesenmuller, Trosum, Wiesenmuller, Lerner, Stanger. So that all happened on the last lap. That was absolutely insane stuff. Well, penultimate lap, of course, where it happened between between Glavach and Wiesenmuller. So very interesting stuff indeed. We got Holok fighting with Oynas over the line, and it was Oynas who managed to take it from Holok, as you can see. So those are the results. So it's another win for Kunzer, but it was obviously that was all about the 4th through 17th battle in the end there, because that was fantastic fun to watch. Butcher took another podium this season. It's a strong, solid championship, I guess. Not one that we know that he would want, but one that's that's been pretty solid compared to other drivers. Glavak takes that 5th position back with his teammate Shepard. Trostum and Wiesemuller, teammates again, 6th and 7th. Teammate to Kunzer, Lerner in 8th. We've got Stanger 9th, Schulze in 10th, 11th is Amaral, 12th Jacobs, 13th Bogdan, 14th Bell, and 15th Chris Visa. So what a fantastic afternoon of racing we've seen here today, Adam. We've not seen any accidents and actual really overt action. We've just seen good, hard, solid racing all round.
Yeah, some of the moves that people have been pulling on each other. Remember, the defending driver as well is doing a great job to not screw it up for both of them. Absolutely quality moves through a track that, like we've said, you have to set up moves for several corners to go in. Brilliant racing, and we're not seeing instances, like you said, that are ruining other people's races. Quality racing, and a new winner as well in Banky. Really good event.
Yeah, of course he got a 1st and 2 seconds, and normally that would be enough to take, of course, the round win. But Kunzer took 2 wins in a second, so usurped Paul Benz. Banky has a fantastic event, but just runs out 2nd in the round winner. So Kunzer from Banky, like we spoke about, Butcher, Shepard and Glavak top 5. Rounding out past the 15th spots, we got Brazil in 16th, but Wheeler in 17th, Nats in 18th, Stevanovic and Kopp 19th and 20th. Brazilian Basov in 21st, the Swede Lasse Oinas in 22nd, Marcel Holok, the Dutchman in 23rd, Nikola Olympics, the Serbian in 24th, with 25th, Yevgeny Lazarenko from the Ukraine. So fantastic stuff here today, guys. We're going to have a quick break, and then we'll have a word with the drivers who put on a fantastic show for us today.
Hi, I'm Ted Björk, and you're watching TCOne on RaceRoom.
Hello and welcome back to the post-race of TCOne 2016, round 5 from Brands Hatch, with some fantastic action here today. Now we're going to get the views of the drivers, and we're going to start first of all in the obvious place. We're going to speak to Julian Kunzer, who is now surely champion-elect. 2 fantastic wins there, Julian. But just talk to us about the pressure you received today from Banky and how impressed you would be with him.
Yeah, good evening. It was one of the most exciting races I've ever had. Banky got a really amazing pace, and I managed to get pole, and thought I could drive. I could get away with 1 second lead, but Banky was pressuring the whole time, and I noticed that he fall off in the end. So in race 2, I thought it's gonna be the same way, but I really felt the pressure. Last 2 little mistakes. Yes, it wasn't much, but it was enough for him to overtake me. And then I've sat back and thought, first race he fall off, so maybe I can overtake him in the end. Yeah, but he positioned his car well enough to end it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic racing between yourself and Banky. Of course, the 3rd race was a bit more of the old routine, because Banky obviously lost a couple of seconds at the start of the race. But just tell us, obviously don't tell us the secret to your starts, because you want to keep it a secret, but your starts have been so consistently amazing. How are you doing it?
Yeah, I traded a lot because at the beginning I wasn't able to start really well, and saw that especially Robert Wiesenmüller and Chris Butcher with the Hondas did really good starts. Yeah, I trained it, and yeah, that's what it came out.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic season for you so far. It's 9 wins now from 15 races. It must have exceeded your expectations coming into the season to be this dominant.
Definitely not. I thought it was.
Ooh.
I thought it was more harder, much harder. But luckily, yeah, they're fighting with each other in my back, and I always can pull away.
Do you think that's one of the key things that people perhaps should not fight quite so much and just concentrate on keeping with you and then fight later on? Is that helping you a massive amount?
Again, please.
Do you think that that's the key thing? That's why people aren't beating you, is because they're fighting amongst themselves a bit too much, and maybe they should team up a bit more and go after you rather than go after each other.
Yeah, of course. If you look at the fastest lap times, I'm rarely first in this, so the others really got the pace. But if they are fighting, they lose a couple of tenths, and I pull away. And if I'm 2 seconds in front and on to the end of the race, I know I have a good tire war. Yeah, I'm just racing
Well,
then.
congratulations on the race today, and on the 3 races, of course, and great racing as well. We really enjoyed that race too, especially. So hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time at round 6, when we go to Salzburg, don't we? At round 6, yes, we do.
Yes.
Salzburg racing on the calendar there for you guys. And Adam, Julian has such a big lead in the championship that he's giving tips to other drivers on how to beat him.
Yeah, you just need to pack it in. It's not fair. But I really enjoy watching your race, actually, Julian. I think just that picking out. I like picking out little things of what you do extra. I don't know if you were noticing, but coming out the hairpin, the second corner Druids, you're running your car wide, and no one else was copying you. Do you feel that you're finding a little bit more pace doing that?
In the race, it showed that I wasn't really fast at that outside line, but I have to steer less, so I can. Yeah, I can. The tire war is not better then.
That's what I was mentioning in the commentary, and that's the difference, and that's
thinking about he's thinking about every little tenth, isn't he? Every 0.1%, and it's coming out, and the results coming out, aren't they? It's not a big thing, isn't it? There's lots of small things that he's doing that's a cumulative, making him so much better.
Yeah, it's not outright pace; it's a style as well. It's a style that he's developing for these races. That, like I said, he manages to just. He says Banky dropped off, but I just don't think Banky's doing what he's doing. Banky is amazing, but Kunter's doing that little bit extra more, so he's, he can drop him to a second during the end of the race.
Speaking of Banky, you wanted to talk to him, Adam, about a new star being born. Seems you're gonna start a fan club for him.
Yeah, I just want to speak to him actually. Mainly about race 2 and his first win, and I'm becoming a bit of a fan, Banky. How was that for you? Did you enjoy that race?
Oh, well, it was utterly amazing because I've done plenty of testing and I felt really comfortable on the track. The car was perfectly hooked up and I could attack every single corner, and yeah, my row pace was quite okay, front row on all 3 occasions. And in the second race, Julian made a small mistake. First, in the first corner, he could defend his line then, but 4 or 5 laps later, he went to the grass. I had the speed advantage going into turn 1. I could pick the outside line going into turn 2, and I overtook him. We were side by side for some time, but it was terrific. Very emotional.
Just you saying it was utterly amazing there has put a huge smile on my face, because I really do enjoy someone who feels that way about their first win, and like you said, the move that was set up through a few corners was absolutely brilliant. But we noticed you joined Smile Power before this event. Have they helped in any way? Have they helped with setting up the car or teaching you new things? How have they helped you?
Of course, they helped me a lot, and I'm very grateful because they helped me a bit with the setup, a bit with the tire wear, so we could make some progress everywhere, actually. So it's great to be part of the team. Really nice guys. So I hope for some more wins and success with them.
Well, it was absolutely brilliant to watch. I think you just the progression you've made through this season has been fascinating to watch. I really enjoy watching your race, and the fact that you and Kunter, you can tell you're both classy drivers, and you can drive side by side for that. I'm hoping for more of that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And that interview, I don't know about you, Adam, but it brought a smile to my face just hearing the enthusiasm of how much this young guy is enjoying driving.
Just the words "utterly amazing." That just shows you he's put a lot of work in to progress to this stage and to finally grab that win in that style as well. Nice, clean, fair racing against Julian Kunze, who he made that small mistake, but to pounce on it like that and go side by side through several corners is unreal, and then to hold him off towards the end, fantastic.
Yeah, really, really good performance from Bent, and we're looking forward to more for him from the season. He's really stepped up. Some other drivers who have stepping up a little bit more than they were early in the season, and they're almost getting there. Chris Butcher, Chris, another podium for you, another 5th spot again. So close, but yet so far, it feels like at the moment.
I don't know where I'm going wrong, to be honest. I mean, I can't win. I put loads of effort in, and I was nowhere near my practice pace in those 3 races. I don't really understand, to be honest, but first 2 races didn't really go my way, but race 3 was a lot better, and just to see Julian 10 seconds away from me and Banky 6, 7 in front as well, I mean, I don't know.
You sound, you're not annoyed, you just sound kind of bemused.
Well, I mean, my race pace should have been better than that. I was able to do sort of 46.0 and low 46s consistently for most of the race when I did my practice runs, but for some reason I couldn't replicate that. So I need to try and look at that and find out why, and hopefully rectify it for the next round.
Well, thank you, Chris, for that. It's much the same for yourself at the moment, isn't it? It's you're getting close, but not quite making that next step, to properly challenge. I mean, obviously you had a chance at Sonoma, but then pace-wise, again, in the next 2 races didn't quite work out, right? So, obviously, good luck to you rest of the season. You're actually in a really strong position in the championship. You're in 3rd place coming into this round, and you're probably going to be in 3rd place exiting the round. I mean, that must be pleasing, despite the fact that you've never actually been challenged properly for a win, apart from that one occasion.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it shows I've been fairly consistent throughout, but it's not where I want to be. I want to be winning races. I need to say thanks to Chris Shepherd, by the way, because he helped me with the start for race 3, so that helped a little bit.
Wow, Chris Butcher and Chris Shepherd alliance. That is a very unlikely alliance, Adam.
I wasn't expecting that. What
No,
happened to hating each other? I prefer it when you hate each other.
Well, I mean, you've been crediting Julian for his amazing race starts, but actually Chris Shepherd's have been absolutely insane all season, and I think he deserves the credit for it.
Ooh, bit of man love going on there. Goodness me. So, but of course, the problem with Chris's start is that we don't see him on pole positions. We don't see him quite as much. So, I'm sure his start's been amazing. So, but he's got recognition. There you go. Butcher's made sure it's in there. And now, Adam, we've got one more person to talk to. We're going to talk to Mr. Lerner, Mr. Moritz Lerner, who took a podium position in race 2.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about how race 2 was a solid result, podium. But what's happening? What's happening in other races? We're seeing this for you a couple of weekends. I noticed you in race 1 especially. It looked like you quit the race. What happened coming into McLaren there? What made you quit? Because it was clearly a rage quit.
Nah, not really a rage quit. It was I got pushed out 3 times in 1 lap, and the 3rd time was I think it was a bit of my fault. Touched Shepherd, I think, in the back, and I went into the tire barriers, and yeah, I retired the race.
Yeah, it was that was unfortunate. We I can't remember what corner it was. It looked like you were fighting with Butcher into Paddock Hill Bend, and it looked like you just tried to take a little bit too much to the inside of him, and you were knocking, and that seemed to set your momentum backwards then. And do you feel that's what caused it? You were just offline in between, quite a tight pack, and yeah, I imagine that was rather uncomfortable.
I think I was at the wide on the outside as I could. I did it in the third race with Stange. This worked pretty well, but unfortunately not with Butcher. So I don't know. I have to watch it in a replay if I went too much on the inside or if he went too much on the outside. But yeah, maybe a bit of fault from both of us. But yeah, very unfortunately.
Yeah, it was. So you come back then into race 2. You set yourself a solid podium, third position. I mean, that race just looked like it. You had a nice gap to Glavich behind you. They were all back things, so there wasn't much rush there. And then sadly in race 3, we see the same as race 1. We can see you've got the pace. You're lapping as quick, just off the leaders by about half a tenth, but you find yourself in 8th position. Again, was that a frustrating race?
Not really. I had the best qualifying. Qualified 8th, I think. Fell back to 10th during the race and 11th, but made progress with great fights during the race, and I think I went up to 8th in the end. Yeah, in the last lap I had a great battle against Jan Stange with a photo finish in the end. And that was really fun, but yeah, the position is not that good, but the race was fun, and I think that's the top priority.
Looking from you won that pace, you look like you're there. You look like, there's some races we've seen you as quick as cunt. So we watched you drive away from Robert Wiesemuller at Mid Ohio. You said the priority is to have fun, but is there something there that just are you disappointed with where you're finishing? Because if I had your pace, race 1 and race 3, I'm frustrated at. You're not slightly frustrated at it?
Yeah, a bit, but yeah, hard to explain. The race was fun. The position not that good, but yeah, I don't know how to explain that. Well, I will leave it with that.
Your English is probably better than mine, so don't take offense. It's better than my German anyway. But congrats on the podium anyway, and hopefully we'll see you have that consistent round. That I think that your pace clearly you've got that pace to have 3 solid results. So unlucky for the first and third, but congrats on the podium.
Yeah, thank you.
That sounds like a very subdued Moritz there, Adam. Pretty nonplussed with the results of this event. I mean, it's probably what being teammates to Julian Kunze does to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
I'd probably slashing my wrist by now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be looking for race wins, to be honest. If Kunze was my teammate, I think I'd go back to that would be my outline. Was I had fun.
you know what you do? You not qualify and just like drive to the field. Just do that instead. So you've got an excuse for not winning. Yeah, just like you used to do the Midi Fridays. You've got an excuse for not winning. Oh, I didn't win because I qualified at the back, but I passed 10 people.
I had fun.
Right, so thank you to all the drivers for entertaining us today, both with the driver interviews and with the racing on track. That was a fantastic watch, wasn't it, Adam? Really, really good and really clean racing. And of course, we're back in 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time, we go to Salzburg. That's going to be very tasty indeed. I love that track. And we'll see the people take battles once again. And then, of course, in 11 days' time, we go back to TC2. And I'm going to kill me if I get this wrong, but I think it's at Norris Ring in TC2. No, it's not at Norris Ring. It's at Spielberg, maybe? Something big with an S. Something big with an S. There's quite a few big with an S. Sachsenring and Spielberg and that sort of stuff. I haven't got the thing handy right now. Sorry, guys. But fantastic stuff. Thank you to everyone. And we'll see you in 11 days' time for the TC2 broadcast. Jake Sansa will be on that, along with Rob Wiesemuller. And that is a fantastic series to watch, by the way. It's only little Audi TT Cup cars, but it is absolutely fantastic to watch, and they have fantastic battles. We've had last lap passes for the lead in several of the races so far this season already, so definitely tune into that battle between Bruins and Dorneden. That's definitely brewing to be a bit of a blockbuster. And of course, we're back in 2 weeks' time for Salzburg Rank on the 30th of July. At the same time, 6:30, make sure 6:30 UK, 7:30 in Central Europe, and wherever you come from, the same time as it always is. So make sure you tune in. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button for us, please, guys. You can like us on facebook.com/TouringPro Series as well, and you can follow us on Twitter, if I don't whack my headset off, at Touring_Pro. And if you want to take part in the series, of course, just head to the Sector 3 forums, and we're under the Leagues and Communities section. Thank you to everyone for watching, and thank you to drivers. Thank you to you yourself, Adam, for joining us. You got any final words?
Yeah, really enjoyed that event. I knew Brands Hatch would stir up some awesome moves, and it was a lot less bangy and a lot more respectful than I thought it was. But I actually enjoyed it being like that because there was just some classic racing going on there over these 3 races. So really enjoyed it.
Fantastic stuff. So we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Until then, guys, take it easy.